Hello everybody, and welcome to Ludi Tonight. Happy Saturday, everybody. My name is Falco Flyer, and we have a triple header coming your way. Starting off with Starboard and Anemones, two Div 8 teams looking to make a punch here in the top 8. Starboard going 5-0 in their group, Anemones going 4-1, only dropping one set. Tonight on the mic, we have Pinky and we have Neptune, so both of you, take it away.
Thank you, Falco, and yeah, welcome to Ludi Tonight. We are here with some playoff coverage. Starboard versus Anemones here in Div 8 in the first round of playoffs, I believe. So let's just get into it. Neptune, what are you looking to see?
You know what? I see a lot of interesting things from, Division 8. I've commentated a lot of matches just like between various Division 8 teams, and Starboard and Anemones here are looking to, how do I say it, get into top 8 here, as I believe it is, top 16 for playoffs here. So I'm very interested to see what both these teams pull out here. You never know what's going to happen here, especially with TC Mako coming up here.
Yeah, TC Mako is an interesting first, map mode to go about it, because of the tower control maps, it's definitely one of the more even ones, but there is just such a severe bottleneck by that second checkpoint that, like, the way that these teams are going to fight around control on this map and how they're going to opt for certain angles to push, I think it's going to be really telling for how the whole set goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Game 1 certainly sets the tone for an entire game, right? But as you mentioned before, the bottleneck on Mako is very difficult to overcome here. I think you just kind of have to, funnel out at least 2 or 3 specials here. But hey, we're getting right into this here, Pinky. What stands out to you here with these comps?
I'm seeing an Entry here with a very good weapon on this map, as well as the double Zuka. We're seeing on the other side some trash strikes coming out, I believe, on the side of Anemones. Interesting comps all around. A lot of something I would expect. I'm a fan of that Entry. Very good on this map, but doesn't give a ton of coolers. But backed by that double Zuka, I feel like Starboard is going to have a great comp going forth.
Oh yeah, for sure. Entry is certainly a strong pick on this map here, as Starboard already pushing Anemones all the way back into their spawn here. Look at this mid contestant here. There is none here, Pinky. This is incredible pressure coming out here from Starboard.
I mean, Starboard is coming in, I believe, as the higher seed. I believe that they went 5 in the regular season, so they're coming in as the top dogs. And just look at this control right now. Members of Anemones are just staggering left and right. I don't even know if Starboard has had a player go down yet. Right as I say, Entry goes down, Commentators curves, but Starboard at that second checkpoint already giving some contention, and this Inkshot is being an absolute nightmare for Anemones. And there goes that second checkpoint. We might be seeing a knockout here in game 1.
Yeah, it's only been a minute here, and Starboard is just showing so much dominance here, just from not only was it taking control of mid so quickly, right, and the special charges here, but hey, gotta give it here to enemies here, doing this great defense here as the tower goes all the way down to 10 points remaining. So LDE is active, but hey, now you're just gonna have an uphill battle to climb if you are on enemies here.
I mean, yeah, in just the first minute, you lost your first 2 checkpoints and you almost lost your third. Beautiful defense from an enemy to defend it there just at the very end, but already Starboard back on the aggression with the Entry getting 2 nice picks. Zappa's going to go down as well. Stamper's going to go down, and enemies just staggering so much. Starboard just has so much map control. Wherever an enemy is going to drop, there's a good chance they're going to be dropping into at least one of Starboard's members.
Absolutely right now, especially with that pain control here. Like, obviously, like, just, what was it? The Entry here is not going to be able to pay as much as the shot here, but it is certainly able to just contest some of the most key points on this map here, particularly those platforms and those stacks there. But hey, an enemies here is not going to go down without a fight here as they rush their own stack here, but unfortunately goes down to the ballpoint here. Pinky, this is just a complete shutdown here for any attempts that enemies have here for offense.
Yeah, and enemies just can't really get themselves situated right now. Starboard is just exerting so much pressure in all assaults. I mean, just look at that Zuka over on the left, combated by the Fizzy Bomb on the right with a, Tri-Soldier there waiting for you to drop. Ballpoint is going to go down on the tower. Machine Play is going to try and just provide some sort of reprise for an enemy just in the wake of all this pressure. But Starboard still moving that tower. Machine is going to go down 2 down on an enemies, and Starboard at the third checkpoint for the second time this match.
Oh yeah, for sure. This third checkpoint here is pretty tough to clear, but hey, Starboard clears that with flying colors and takes game number 1 here. What a game, Pinky.
I think flying colors just described how Starboard played that entire time, because there was not a second that they weren't in control. An enemy was able to score a single solemn solitary point, and Starboard had none of that and decided to knock it out in return.
Absolutely, Pinky. It's just a lot of dominant map control and just pressure from all angles here. Granted, Mako is one of the more open maps compared to the other options here in Splatoon 3, but even still, that was just incredible here from Starboard, just quickly able to just establish themselves in mid here, get that pain control, pressure the platforms accordingly, and then cycle their specials effectively to the point where that third checkpoint just kind of crumbled down here, and all the members of an enemy just kind of fell down and staggered to that.
Yeah, I mean, an enemy just was always staggering. I feel like they were never going at it, with more than 2 members at a certain area of the map at any given time after that first team fight. And I mean, Starboard was just really good at being able to pick apart, because with their long-range options, with the Fizzy Bomb from the Try, with the Zuka from the Shot, and the Standard Fire from the Squeezer and the Ballpoint, they're just able to cover so many areas of the map all at once and be able to assist each other very easily no matter where they are. So beautiful play from Starboard in that first game.
Oh yeah, absolutely here. But hey, that's only game 1 here, Pinky. We got a couple more games here to go before Starboard's able to claim any victory over an enemies here. But I'm curious to see if Rainmaker is going to be able to work in an enemy's favor here, because rather than the tower going at one pace, the Rainmaker goes at the pace the players carry it.
Yeah, and I mean, if that match was anything to go off of, I feel like Starboard is going to be carrying this Rainmaker extremely quickly, just because, I mean, that you get to control the objective, and Starboard was just pushing up and around so incredibly fast, and I feel like this is definitely a map that is going to work to their advantage. I'm definitely looking forward to see what they're going to do with their comp. I would imagine it's going to be most of the same. Entry is also pretty good here, but I could see a swap to a Zap potentially. Meanwhile, an enemies might want to make some adaptations just in wake of that double Zuka comp just being so difficult to deal with.
Oh yeah, double Zuka is very dominant here, and A comps here, especially with the Shot and a Squeezer and a Cooler backing that up. It is going to come out, cha-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching, something's gonna die there eventually.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Zuka is kind of the name of the game, just because it's just so incredibly strong and omnipresent, and that's the meta that we've been playing in, which it just kind of is what it is, and Starboard is trying to make it to their advantage as best as possible. So we're gonna see what happens in this second game here. Starboard keeping it absolutely classical, all the same stuff, and enemies looking to change it up a little bit by putting on that hero shot and an Entry of their own.
I see double Slosher here from an enemies. That's a very interesting idea. Comp-wise here, because Sloshers, while they aren't very good at painting, are able to dominate a lot of gunfights, especially with a lot of short-range shooters here. But right now, Starboard already getting this pop here and just pushing an enemies back here, but this Stamper here has something to say about it here, trading out as 3 members of Starboard go down here, Pinky.
Yeah, it's just the ballpoint. Ballpoint's retreating off to the right, and Enemies is going to push it down left. Machine is going to be that Rainmaker carry. They're pushing it all alone as Starboard tries to make their way over, and they are able to stop it before Enemies gets that first checkpoint dunk, and now this battle is going rough for them. It's just that Entry locked in the corner, forced to run away. They were forced to jump back all the way to spawn, giving all the map control to Starboard here.
Yeah, definitely. Just unfortunately, he's not able to make that first checkpoint there, but hey, points are going to be put on the board here, and perhaps that might be what you need here, just a little bit of a momentum here. But hey, right now, Starboard's going to start their push, going to the left checkpoint here, like many teams like to do here. But just unfortunately going to get shot down by that Zuka shot there. Beautiful Zuka shot coming out here from Tari, and just come over here, just using the Booyah Bomb to push out any enemy ETE members that are remaining over there.
I will Zuka because it is strong, and that indeed, and Enemies was able to stop that just before that checkpoint dropped. But now Starboard is currently winning this team fight, trying to get the pop on this Rainmaker. They are able to do it in their favor. They just have to grab the Rainmaker, put it on the checkpoint, and with that try getting the pick on the Stamper, this checkpoint is all but guaranteed for Starboard here, and they are set up in a great spot. 3 versus 3, they can definitely get some more points on the board, should they so wish. And here we go, Rainmaker's being grabbed once again and being run forward.
Yeah, definitely. Already going down to 42 here. This is just insane coming out here, Pinky. Just hardly 2 minutes have passed, yet the Rainmaker's Church checkpoint's already down here, and this team is ready and looking to end it here as they wait for specials to come up online.
Yeah, and Enemies, that was a beautiful flank in there, getting 2 picks with that Zuka and able to stop the Rainmaker. But 32 points on the board, 10 more points were able to be scored seemingly out of nowhere, but finally, this Rainmaker should be in their control. Marlowe's going to be the one to grab it up for an Enemies here, but 2 minutes burned off the clock. Starboard definitely in a good spot, but not a safe lead by any means. You really want to get a strong lead on that Slick, so the door is still just a little bit open for an Enemies. They have to pull it together, though, in the last few minutes of this match.
Yep. It's never over till it's over here, until that clock hits overtime and the game ends here. But hey, an Enemies is looking to just shut down any E members of Starboard just coming up here in the mid right now. The Rainmaker is at least out of their spawn here and in a bit of a safer place, but unfortunately going to go down to this Tri-Saucer here. This Tri-Saucer on Starboard side has been a consistent thorn in an enemy's side here, and just continuously sloshing to their heart's content, getting these coolers and just being a giant nuisance to be able to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, Tri-Slosher is one of my personal favorite weapons just because it is, you know, your standard cooler support. It can function as a very solid cooler option, but it is so good in these team fights, especially in a meta where there's a ton of short-range shooters that Tri-Slosher can just kind of bully, and we've been seeing that all over. Starboard taking beautiful advantage of that, trying to get a push going on this left side, aren't able to get any more points on the board, but just the pressure they're exerting makes it so hard for Enemies to regroup. And here comes Beep on this flank here with that Tri-Slosher.
Oh, no.
Do they know Stamper's, or the Machine's gonna get taken down, as is the try, and now Beep is just all the way behind him, putting on so much pressure, gets a third for their troubles, and that formation is so broken.
Oh my goodness here. That was just a Tri-Slosher flank just went so hard there, just getting 3 kills there and just being a complete slayer and just putting an enemy all the way back in their base, not giving a chance to build up any specials here and just keep this map control here. Here's a Starboard here. I haven't seen enemies be able to push past mid here. That just goes to show that Starboard knows how to control the map.
Yeah, I mean, an Enemy's got a pretty solid push going, got very close to breaking that checkpoint, but now they're just locked in their own snipe area, not even able to really enter mid proper. Marlo's going to get flanked by the Tri-Slosher again. Beep gets 2 more kills, just being insane with these flanks, and just 50 seconds to go. Starboard is not taking their foot off the gas whatsoever. Rainmaker is being regrabbed and being run back just a little bit, repositioned, and another push on the left side is being readied.
Oh yeah, for sure right now. And Starboard right here just looking to get to knock it out here. As, you know, in those last 30 seconds here, you know what? You don't have to knock out, actually. You just need to hold the Rainmaker in a position in which the enemy team is not going to be able to take it that far here. While an enemy does get the pick here, the Rainmaker's all the way on the far right side of the map here. This is making it extremely difficult to go through forward here, Pinky. But right now, these team fights in mid here are not looking good for your enemies.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 seconds left. Squeezer gets 1 pick. It's 3 with the Zuka. Starboard Squeezer. It goes insane with that Zuka at the very end. I don't know if Tari can pop this Rainmaker alone in time. They are able to do so. They are going to grab it, but the Rainmaker goes down once again. Beep on this end try will not be deterred, and neither will Starboard, going up 2-0 in the set count.
Yep. Flying colors, I don't think is enough to describe this. A giant rainbow is probably more appropriate for what's going around here for Starboard's plays going on here.
a color explosion, if you will. I mean, just Starboard is just everywhere at any possible time. Look at how far that yellow ink got in the enemy base. Like that is a ridiculous level of control. It looks like the map. Like that's just how deep in the enemy base Starboard was able to go.
Yeah, definitely here, and we're gonna see some of these replays, just how well Starboard is able to just hold the control of this map here. But hey, this one Zuka shot here, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. One of these will land here, and it cashed out hard here, getting not one, not two, but 3 kills with one Zuka shot.
Here comes the money, 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 money. And we can see there, Beeb is going around on that midsection, just goes all the way around, and is just able to get that pick on the crew right as the clock hits 0. And I mean, Starboard, very dominant showings in these first 2 games.
Absolutely. And enemies, was put on the back foot that entire game and needed to grab the Rainmaker there in that last second there. So that was excellent awareness from Beep on that Tri-Slosher, recognizing, oh, hey, they need to grab Rainmaker here, otherwise the game's going to be over. So let me just go on the flank here and just slosh twice, and boom, it just goes down and ends the game there. Very clean plays coming from Starboard here.
Absolutely. And I mean, an enemy's going to have to, start getting stuff into gear. Starboard has a ton of momentum right now, and enemies, I'm sure, would love to stop it. And this is a great place to do so. Clamlets on Scorch Gorge, a very difficult map to push through, but it is very easily cheesable with our good friend, the Kraken.
The Kraken is going to be unleashed here. I can see why it's a very popular option today, because some teams are just so good at setting up and holding control here that they just unleash the Kraken here, super jump with the cooler, and just toss all those power clams in their pinky.
Absolutely. And I mean, Starboard has been running a squeezer this entire time. I feel like it's not that much of a jump for that squeezer to switch over to 96 Deco. Just because you have that still mid-range wall option. Squeezer is going to be staying here, but we are seeing the Slaughter Deco and the Pencil coming out, and we're seeing the 52 gal come out on the side of enemies.
Okay, you know what? I can see both these weapon changes contributing greatly for just this particular map mode here. The regular Slosher here, it's not as as fast as the Tri-Slosher Nouveau, right? Still able to slosh to its heart's content and cover a lot of AoE on the platforms here on Scorch Gorge here, as this mid fight here is going to determine quite a lot of the pace of the game here, as Starboard takes 3 members down and is already looking to score into the basket here, Pinky.
And I mean, this squeezer is just spamming this way. Posadas trying to get a power clamp going, finally able to get it, fumbles around a little bit, but there's the score all the same. Here comes the tri-strikes from this newly minted Slosher, gets a pick as well, and just trying to get some more claims to that basket. 1 more claim is all it's going to be found, just a little bit extra credit, and now this Pencil's trying to set up, trying to get some more claims in. It looks like that push is going to stop at 74. Starboard had a ton of potential to get a little bit more of a score, but now this Pencil is set up on top mid, and it is a very difficult spot for enemies to deal with.
Oh yeah, especially with the current range predicament here with enemies here, right? The only thing that's really going to be able to that Sniper Rider is the Stamper here, but unfortunately goes down as 2 members of enemies keep on stagger looping here, as I noticed. Just they're not going to be able to have many members online for the full force of the Starboard members just rushing that basket now, as it already drops down to 40 clams remaining.
Yeah, this basket has been open for about maybe 15 seconds, and it's already gone down by about 40 points. So, that's just the kind of team you're dealing with. When you're dealing with Starboard, that's the pace you're dealing with. And just look at this Pencil being set up, and now an enemies doesn't feel safe to drop. They have to burn that whale just to move some of the teammates out of the way of the ramp, and now Pink is set up on the top mid. But look at this Pencil. Bramble's just chilling up here. Here comes Pink with that Zipcaster, but they're zipping into 3 teammates right now. Not able to find a pick, goes down instead, and now an enemy's trying to use that cover fire to move forward, but Starboard is setting up for this defense, finds 3 picks, and finds the wipeout.
Oh my gosh, here, Pinky, that was unbelievable. I thought enemies was going to be able to gain some momentum there, but it was just completely shut down by Starboard, just completely setting up with their weapons here and just ready for the onslaught of members of an enemies here, and already forming a power clam and just slowly but surely taking more and more control of this map here and making this situation look all the better for them.
Yeah, I mean, Starboard is just... We've been saying it this whole set. They just play at such a fast pace. They put on so much pressure, and an enemy's it's just kind of been crumbling. But now they're 3 down. Starboard is 3 down. It's just that shot remaining. And Enemies has the chance to take as much of the map as they want, and they need to take as much as possible. They're not going to get many more opportunities like this one. But the machine is going to go down. Zap has 7 claims, finding the 8th. There we go. Power claim is online for Enemies, but it's running away from the basket in the wake of the Zuka, just trying to stay alive. And Enemies doesn't feel safe to push, and that's going to give Starboard the time to push back into mid. And this is just going back into what we've been seeing this entire set.
Yeah, definitely. And Enemy seems to be very cautious to approach here, you know. Just backing up with the power clamp here, you know, it does have you a giant echolocator on your body over there, but just it is just very difficult for any enemy to be able to set up here, but just by playing super cautiously, and Starboard is taking full advantage of that.
I mean, absolutely. But Starboard is 2 down, but the bucket is just able to turn it around in that team fight. Goes down to the splash wall, though, as this 52 gal trying to set up, trying to just stay out of the line of the sight of the pencil. Is going to be hitting them with the killer whale, as well as trying to get, you know, some of the members of Starboard off the enemy ramp. Tari has that power claim at the ready. There's a lot of claim economy in favor of Enemies, and they get their first score of the match. How many claims can they get in there? That's another ball. 60 points down, but the Stamper's going to go down. Marlowe's not going to be able to keep it going by themselves, and that's another wipeout on Enemies.
Oh my goodness, I think that's the second wipe out this game here. Just Starboard just looking and hungry for those kills, especially when the basket is threatened here. And the specials are online here, so are more quickly being able to do it. But no, the power clamp just falls off the map here, completely shutting down on any chances of opening this basket here in the moments to come here. But hey, Enemies seem to find their footing right now, just being able to contest some of the members of Starboard, gaining a little bit more confidence and momentum here. That Zuka, the lottery shots are lucky tonight here, and just not going to be able to push them back here as much as we thought we would. But hey, members are being traded left and right here, Pinky, and I'm not sure what's going to happen soon.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me feels like that power claim not scoring is better for Starboard here than it was for Enemies, because now Enemies doesn't have a pity claim, and they don't have a whole lot of claims, and they don't have a lot of map control to get more claims. And the Zap, which is their biggest claim carrier, is going to go down. They have no claims to their name, and I believe they don't have a pity to their name either, which means Starboard has all the means they possibly need to prevent an overtime from even happening. 10 seconds left of this regular timer here. This shot is 1 claim away from making a power claim, and that is going to stop overtime from happening in the first place. Zap goes down to the Zuka, and there's that power claim being built and being scored to seal game 3 in favor of Starboard.
Unbelievable, Pinky. That was just so much momentum so quickly and just so fast that just that game number 3 just flew by.
It is just insane how fast all of this is going. Like, Starboard is just taking so much control so incredibly quickly, and Enemies trying to do whatever they can. I mean, they have good defense, they have good moments, but Starboard is just able to overwhelm them. They're just able to win, even in spite of numbers advantages, and Enemies is just crumbling under all this pressure, and it's just so hard for them to get anything set up in a comp that needs to be set up to work.
Yeah, absolutely here. Like, I saw all the weapon changers, 52 in particular, coming out with that wall, just being able to hopefully slow down Starboard, but that didn't seem to work all that well, as the members of Starboard just clicked the W key and went forward into the base here. No hesitation at all, especially with these Zuka shots coming out here. Just very, just bloodbath mid control here is what I like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how Scorch plays. You have that bowl, and just everyone just kind of falls into it, gets stirred up, and it looks like Starboard was the team to remain there. So now Starboard goes up 3-0 in this best of 9 series, and for Enemies, time is kind of starting to run out here. They only have 1 more game of wiggle room before they are at risk of losing the set lickety split. So this is kind of an Enemies' final chance to get whatever prep they need as we enter the second half of the set. We are going to be going on to Zone's ship shape here in game 4.
Yeah, Zone ship shape here. A pretty fan favorite lately that I've been seeing here. Just, it's pretty wide open, right? Typically not too much cover in mid here, aside from just those little platforms, and just a lot of things are able to work here, right? If you have a weird niche zones comp, this is the map where it's going to excel at here, Pinky.
Yeah, I believe this zone is resliderable. I don't know if that is true, and I don't know if either team will really try to take advantage of it, but that is something to keep in mind. But I feel like one thing that's especially strong on this map is, say it with me, try Zuka, because it can just reach every single possible nook and cranny, and if you're trying to get set up on that snipe area like Starboard has been trying to do with that ballpoint and with that pencil, it's just going to get Zuka immediately and just be like shut down from all angles of the map.
Yeah, definitely. Something that I want to note here is Enemies does have a Zuka in the Neo Machine, but Neo Machine doesn't paint nearly as much as, say, the V-Shot or the Squeezer, so it's going to be a little bit slower with that output here. In the meantime, the enemy team running both a V-Shot and a Squeezer is going to get their Zukas up first and going to start their snowball and lock out the enemies. These, as we've seen these last few games here with the Trizuka picks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Starboard has been absolutely coming on top with the Trizuka plays. Just harken back to game 2 where that Squeezer just got a triple with that Trizuka at the very end to just essentially seal the fate there. But here we go, game 4 in this best of 9 series between Starboard and an enemy. Starboard up 3-0, and that Entry is going to come back as well as that ballpoint. Starboard going back to their old comp, and we're seeing Sorella, Tenebrella, and Dually Swelters coming out for an enemy. They're just trying everything they can.
All right, you know what? Gotta shake it up, change the question, they have to find a different answer here. So I understand an enemy strategy here, but unfortunately, Sorella Tenebrella gets shut down by a suction bubble. Oh my goodness, this is just crazy how Starboard is just going forward here and gets a triple here with the end zap here. Wait, not the end zap, it's a V-Shot. Okay, I thought that was the end zap for a second.
Yeah, Shade's finally going to get shut down by the tent there, and the tent is going to be coming out on zone for the contestant, but here comes that Inkjet from Bumblebee just trying to find his pick, doggedly forcing them to retreat into their teammates, though, and Bumblebee's going to get taken down, and this is going to be a trade happening with the Entry as well, and enemies starting to win some team fights, but they're not converting it into objective control just yet. Marlo's the only one on zone, though, and finally an enemies has the zone, and all of Starboard is corralled in this little corner. Tari's going to jump back out, and the Squeezer's going to try and, establish a way to get back in to go down on the side of an enemy. Starboard trying to get to this retake as fast as possible, and it looks like they're going to be able to do it, getting the zone back in their color for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that was a little bit of a scramble situation there. And Enemies was able to find some footing there. Was in the last couple 10 seconds there. But hey, Starboard is now in control of this top left area here and is just ready to set up here the Squeezer right here. But unfortunately, he does not able to still remain up there up long here as Pink is going to try and cap this zone here and just hopefully he puts some more penalty points. They are successful here, and the Zuka comes out from the Sorella Tenebrella here. But just right now, Starboard's able to trade these members back left and right here, as an enemies can't seem to afford any trades.
Yeah, an enemy definitely seems very comfortable on spot zones, so they've been able to excel pretty well, and they're threatening to take the lead from Starboard here. Just a few more points, and there we go. Lead is taken, but absolutely no room to breathe just yet. And enemies needs to get a good wipe here to get a good push started. Ballpoint is going to be stuck in the Inkjet. They can the landing, but here comes Beep on the Tri-Slasher, but they are able to take them down. Posadas pops Azuka, though, and there's 2 easy targets to take. Is able to find one on the 10, and that's Starboard recapping the zone.
Definitely, just a lot of different things is happening so quickly, so fast here, and just both the teams are at each other's necks here for the zone right now, and I've seen an enemies just being able to hold their ground here, just keep that zone painted here, but unfortunately not going to be able to push up far enough here, as Starboard's already able to set up here, get some of their specials, and just stay on the high ground right now, as the Sorella Tenebrella is going to try and set up here, but it might be able to do it. Yes, they do able to cap zone here, and these teams here on an enemies are going to win these fights and take 3 down from Starboard here and able to push up here, it seems.
Yeah, right now an enemy's trying to push up as best they can. This lead has been flip-flopping. This has been the closest game yet. An enemy seems to have found a little bit of an answer here in this game 4, and they're using it to try and get out of this pity and get the lead back into their hands. Brew is going to be taken down here by the Squeezer, but that is going to be the lead going back into the hands of an enemies here. This Inkjet is stuck, trying to land as best as possible. Tari's going to go down, though, on this tent. The Beep is going to be trying to push forward, but 2 are down on the side of Starboard. Beep trying to get some high ground however possible, but an enemy's now threatening the knockout. 15 points to go.
Yep, 10 more points here remaining here, and enemies looks like they're going to knock out here, Pinky. This is a fantastic showing from an enemy, showing that even though the others are map modes they did and succeed on, zones is certainly one where they are able to succeed and breathe.
Yeah, an enemy's finally stifling the just overwhelming momentum that Starboard has been building the entirety of this set, finally getting on the board, getting their first game in, and that has got to feel good. That has got to be a great tone set for the rest of the set. We could be seeing a new set of enemies here as we move into the latter half of the set.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what? Just so the Tenebrella here, I did not expect this pick here, but hey, it not only are you able to use the Tenebrella as a shield, you're able to use the projectile that you launch to also paint the zone here, and that worked so massively in an enemy's favor here. Just having this giant HP sponge here being tossed on zone and just consistently denying Starboard any chance to cap the zone and start their penalty points here, and the rest of the enemy members here just going in along with this Brella is just being fantastic. What was it? Team coordination that led to that victory there.
Absolutely. And enemies on the board here. New team there. Both these teams are awake, and we're going to be heading into game 5 on Tower Control on Crab Lake Capital. That's where I got the
that's where I got the C there. Well, you know what? Crab Lake Clams is pretty nice here, but we're playing Tower Control here, which is you know, a rather interesting map mode, if I do.
It's one of the more divisive map modes.
Yeah, okay. I can see some people love it, some people hate it here, Pinky, but what was it? I can certainly see either the love for this mode as well as the hate here.
Yeah, I feel like Crab Leg is one of my favorite maps in solo queue. I love this map in solo queue. I love it when it comes on rotation, because you really can just like go Mozart on it and just go absolutely anywhere you want and just make your own little symphony. But in team coordination, it can be very, very stally, especially in tower control. That welcome out of a first checkpoint is not really much of a welcome at, because it is right up in the face of the enemy plat, which is very, very easy to defend. But after you get that out of the way, the tower moves pretty far away from your own spawn. So it is critical to get that defense on lock as best as you can, because things can quickly spiral out of control for whichever team gets advantage first.
Oh yeah, for sure. You mentioned the first checkpoint there and just being very difficult to clear. Both these teams do have HP sponges in terms of that splash wall, as well as, what was it, the Tenebrella if it does come back here. But after the first checkpoint, right, when that tower starts riding back here, that is the moment where you got to be able to toughen up on defense, because the snowball is about to start and you got to be able to be ready and to deal with the members oncoming from that tower. But hey, we're getting into game number 5 here, Pinky. What stands out to you with these comps?
What I'm seeing is we're seeing both breeds of Splattershot coming here on an enemy's side, and we're seeing the Bucket and Pencil making a return on Starboard side. They realize that it worked out well for them in game 3. They're going to bring it back for game 5 after they just lost that game going back to their roots.
Oh yeah, for sure here. Already, just members being traded left and right here. 3 go down from Starboard here as an enemy just realize you gain a confidence from that Splat Zones game and gets a wipeout immediately as his first checkpoint falling already here, Pinky.
Yeah, I mean, Pink, on the side of enemies, has been playing Stamper for the first half of the set, but ever since they've been switching over to Splattershot, they've been putting in a ton of work just because it's a much more consistent weapon compared to Stamper. Just look at the points falling for enemies here. Machine is able to win that nice 1v1 versus the Zuka, and now an enemy's at that second checkpoint. Starward is pretty far away from contesting it, but 2 go down on the tower here. Here comes Beep on the flank, trying to take out Pink, and Pink's going to be off the tower. It looks like that push is going to be stopped at 40. Great defense from Starboard there, but a very good first push from an enemies.
That was just insane momentum there. If I blinked twice and didn't look at the colors, I thought it said that was Starboard there from game 1 or 2, but no, this is a completely different team here, just playing to the strengths of that shot here, using that Zuka, using the tri-strikes to get people off the tower. It is a very popular special for this map, for a tower control, especially being able to move people off that here. But 3 go down here from Starboard again as an enemy starts their victory march here on this tower again.
Yeah, a march that it is. Beep is just the last bastion trying to stay alive however possible, and that's going to give enough time for the rest of Starboard to respawn in for this massive team fight. 3 versus 3 right now, happening. Absolute chaos. 2 versus 2. Once again, the tower's just sitting in mid, unattended. It looks like Starboard has a little bit more control, but as I say, the squeeze is going to go down to Pink here, and now an enemy's back on this tower, back on that grind, back having that passive special in their favor, and there's the Zuka getting 2 collateral picks at the same time. Pink is going crazy.
Pink is going insane here, just getting so many crucial picks and consistently putting Starboard on the back foot here and allowing their team to just go forward and just continue the momentum that they set forth here. As the drinks do come out here, they're going to get set up on this top right here. Now it's all a matter of seeing if you can clear the second checkpoint and get that passive special charge to cycle your specials here. But no, Starboard coming here with this squeezer, looking to just contest the tower here. It doesn't seem like it's going to be able to do as much in the enemy fate there, but just things are just happening here, Pinky. I can't comprehend what is going on.
Everything is happening all at once, and it is favoring Anemones so incredibly much. I mean, Pink and the Pink being casted by Pinky, this has got to be fate. There's some kind of divine intervention here that is pushing Anemones forward, and they are absolutely making the most of it here. 2 minutes left to go in this game, and it's just been all Anemones. Starboard hasn't even been able to approach the first checkpoint, let alone get points on it.
Yeah, definitely. Bazooka is going to come out there and shut down Pinky here, and the specials are coming out here and forcing Anemones to be on the back foot here, as the tower does seem to be going forward. But as you said, that first checkpoint is very tricky here, and the member of Anemones are going to make it as difficult as possible to be able to push this tower forward here. But hey, Starboard gets their first push coming here, but unfortunately goes down to the suction button here. Pinky, we might see another snowball form here soon.
We might. Pencil gets the beautiful pick on the T-Tech. That T-Tech was setting up there for the defense. Nice pick, beautifully well timed, and now the points are starting to rack up here for Starboard. It's been all Anemones all game, but now they're getting their chance. 20 points to go to get that lead in their favor. They're getting close to that second checkpoint. Zook is not going to be able to find one, but that checkpoint points are starting to go down. Lead switch happening very soon, and there it is. Starboard back in the lead of things. Second checkpoint is down, and here comes that snowball. Tactical is being thrown up by this Pencil. Tri-Strikes are going to miss the tower. Unfortunately, one is able to hit it, but Bumblebee gets right back on the tower, and they're approaching that third checkpoint, and it's looking like all Starboard once again. 3 go down on the side of Anemones, and there's not enough defense right now.
Absolutely here, Pinky. It has just been explosive. Starboard was able to turn a bad situation from 3 minutes to an excellent situation in the last minute here, as Beep on this slosher here going to slosh their heart's content here and just lead their team for a knockout here. Incredible momentum shift there from Starboard there in the last 3 minutes.
What a paradigm shift in just the last minute and a half of that game. Starboard had absolutely no control, no reign, no right to any points, and just at the very end, just able to put a push together with some tape and some quarters right at the nick of time, and they were just able to take it all the way to the bank, all the way to the knockout, and now they're threatening set point and threatening to move on in top 8 of the playoffs in Ludi Div 8.
This is match point here, but Anemones have shown they are very capable of pushing back Starboard, but not going to be able to push them back, especially with that passive special charge on tower there. The Zuka comes out here, and the drinks were online here, Pinky. It is so difficult to just be able to come back, especially for players jumping back into the tower rider, which was the snipe rider, and just putting so much pressure, not allowing any members of Anemones to go forward there, and just basically get set up to get it knocked down there like a bowling pin.
Absolutely. I mean, those bowling pins just kept on falling. Beep on that bucket was just absolutely insane. They've been absolutely an MVP for Starboard this entire set, and they have been proving their worth time and again as we head on over to Game 6. Once again, in this best of 9 series, Starboard is threatening set point, threatening to eliminate Anemones in top 16 of playoffs, and threatening to move on to top 8. Here is going to be decided potentially Rainmaker on Museum.
Rainmaker Museum, a classic here. You know what I see on this map mode quite a bit here, Pinky? Ink Vac. Ink Vac might come out here.
Some little vacuum action. I mean, Starboard, I feel like is the team more likely to do, but based on the comps that both these teams have been running, I don't see an easy flex option onto Vac, so it's going to be a pretty dedicated pick, I feel like.
Perhaps the ballpoint might switch over to ballpoint Nouveau. You know, that's a pretty safe pick there for a vacuum option. You know, you have the strong main weapon and ballpoint here with the ink mines there. But hey, you know what? I can see just a lot of different things working here on Rainmaker for both teams, right? You know, Zuka's always really nice to shut down any pushes. Your Cooler, obviously, to push the Rainmaker a bit more forward. Just a lot of different options here. You can find success here on Museum here, Pinky.
Yeah, I mean, Museum, a lot of stuff is able to work on it very well. I do feel like this is a pretty strong bucket map with the variance of height, and we've been seeing how Starboard has been able to get so much mileage out of their bucket player, and Anemones has a machine player that's also been doing pretty well here in this whole set. So I would imagine we might be seeing another installment of the bucket battle here in Game 6. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sloshers are certainly able to, what was it, have a little bit of a playground here, being able to threaten the top platform there just from the low ground there. That is the beauty of Sloshers, that AoE, just being able to come up out of nowhere and jump scare you and absolutely shut down any chance for a team to just be able to set up there. But hey, you know what? I can see the Stamper actually coming back here. I'll be eating my words here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 here.
Here we go. Game 6, Pencil and Bucket is here to stay here for Starboard, and that Tenebrel is going to be coming back for Anemones. Definitely not what I would expect on this map mode, but it got them that win in Game 4. They certainly feel good on it, and here we go. Potentially the last game of this set between Starboards and Anemones.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Tenebrella is a bit of a sleeper pick, you know. If teams don't know how to deal with it, right, it could certainly run over and just completely dominate here. But no, it seems like Starboard has learned from their mistakes here and already taking a lot of control over this middle spinner here and looking to threaten the Rainmaker and start their first push.
Yeah, a bit of a scare in the pop, but they're able to stay alive just a little bit. And Anemones threatening this pop very effectively, and the Anemones had a lot of mid painted in their color, and that Sniper is going to be going down on the side of Starboard. That's going to make things harder, but 2 go down on Anemones, and we're seeing Beep just run all the way in. There's the lead switch, but the Rainmaker is taken out from behind, I believe from Brood down there with that 52 gal, and now they're just coming in from behind, just being such a nuisance, but the Rainmaker gets picked up once again, stopped once again on the enemy plat. Starboard just cannot break this checkpoint right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they didn't even get a chance to grab the cooler here. This cooler is not going to be drained by anyone but that Sniper. They're being a bit selfish there, but hey, right now this works greatly in Enemy's favor here. Just going to looking to set up on their platform here and just push it forward as 3 members of Starboard go down and a wipeout occurs.
Yeah, a wipeout is exactly what they need, but by the time this Rainmaker is going to refresh, all of Starboard is going to be respawned. It's going to be another fight to determine this Rainmaker right now, but the Rainmaker is just running forward into enemy danger, goes down to 25 points. It's just the 10th left. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the end of an enemy's push, but they got a push to 25 pretty early in the game here. Now Starboard has to respond to get a push to 24 or better if they want to steal the set in their favor, and an enemy is looking strong on this defense.
Yeah, we're seeing a similar situation to the tower control game last time, right? An enemy is being able to just push the objective all the way to the enemy spawn there and just get a huge lead here. And now it's just a matter of maintaining that lead here. Playing defense on this map is going to be very difficult, especially with those tri-strikes coming out on that platform here. And the Rainmaker is grabbed here and looking to be going to that first checkpoint here, Pinky.
Yeah, Rainmaker is going to try and make its way over, make that jump across the mid spinner, but the spinner is not in a favorable cycle. Zap is going to get taken down by the Rainmaker shot, so this Rainmaker just kind of has to go. Here comes Bumblebee trying to make their way, trying to fly towards their check, and they're able to do so. Zuka not able to find him in time, and now here is it Starboard here, ready to make a statement. 2 down on the side of an enemy. This is kind of open season for them. Chase painting the path forward. Bumblebee once again grabbing this Rainmaker. They have to get it down to 24 for the lead, but 2 go down on Starboard. It's just the Squeezer and the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker trying to run forward for dear life, but gets stopped at 34. The Squeezer is still here, staying alive somehow, but probably going to go down soon, and that's going to be the end of their push. At 34, Starboard needs another push to get this lead from Anemones here.
Wow, this game is neck and neck here. Just so many just back and forth moments where you think one team's going to be able to completely knock out here, but just manages to scrape their way out of that bad situation by getting those picks, securing those kills, getting those specials, and just continuing the momentum and just turning it against the enemy team here. But hey, it is an enemy's turn to try and play offense here, but unfortunately 3 are gonna go down there. Just this Squeezer on Podias just being able to shut down any short-range shooters trying to come up and contest it here. The tri-strikes are out, allowing the enemy team to set up on that spinner here as the Rainmaker goes in for another push.
Posadas has mastered the art of the unreactable Zuka, and I mean, so has Anemones here. No shade to Pink. My goodness, they know how to make a Zuka unreactable themselves. And now they're coming in for this defense. And Posadas goes down on the Squeezer. That's another weapon that Star Wars is not going to have in their favor, and they need all they can have if they want to get this lead from Anemones. 25 is the mark to beat here, and Anemones setting up for defense. Pink on this upper part, you know, very easy to drop down. Here comes the Zuka breaking the wall, breaking the 10 shield, and Star Wars is trying to move forward, but they don't really have the leeway to do so. Just trying to stay alive and get whatever picks they can, but Anemones is just turtling so effectively.
Yeah, definitely. Just being able to hold your ground here on spinner is what you need to be able to do to prevent the Rainmaker from lead from shifting right now. The whale is coming out here. Bombs are being thrown, and I think the lead's going to shift. No, it doesn't. It goes all the way down to 26 here.
They need another pop. It's 1 point. It's 2 versus 2. They can get the pop if they just shoot at it. But now an enemy's going around, trying to get the pick. That's the pop. That's the lead for Starboard here. 2 go down to the Zuka, but it does not matter. 27 seconds left in this game. Starboard just has to defend one more Rainmaker from being carried. Here's Beam on the top, just being absolute menace. Gets 2 picks for their trouble, and it's going to come in from behind, trying to get the last few picks. It's just one more death of the Rainmaker, and the set will be sealed for Starboard. Here comes the Tri-Strikes. Rainmaker running forward into enemy territory, and it's going to go down. There's not enough time, and enemies cannot salvage it, and Starboard is going to take the set 5-1, moving on to top 8 in Ludi playoffs.
Wow, it's always the last minute, the last 30 seconds, Starboard manages to turn the table all the way upside down, taking that lead and just shutting down any attempt of another push happening there. Congrats, Starburst. You're going to be moving on to top 8 in your division.
Starboard, a well-deserved win, 5-1. I will say, those last 3 games were an entirely different set of 2 teams compared to the first 3 games. First 3 games, I'm going to be honest, Starboard was just rolling over enemies, but something changed, something clicked in that game 4, and from there, enemies was wide awake, and Starboard had to, claw and scrape for every last victory. All of them had to be just at the very bitter end of the game, but Starboard able to get it done, able to do the business. They showed that they wanted this so badly, and they got it with a beautiful set win, beautiful Rainmaker grab at the very end. Congrats to them, well-deserved victory for Starboard here.
I also got to commend an enemy. He's there, just like, as he said before, like, Starboard was just completely folding them over, right? What was it? Just in those first 3 games here. But something changed in that Spot Zones game, particularly, right? They figured out the answer that what they need to do, right? To be able to contest Starboard and prevent them from setting up there. But it was just being able to start a momentum and snowball of their own is what they need to do. And just they've been able to consistently take significant leads in these last couple of games here, but just wasn't quite enough here. But congrats to both these teams here for making playoffs at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, and enemies definitely played fantastically, especially in those last 4 games. Just the presence of mind to bounce back from being down to 3 and just get a very solid game and put 2 more strong games up. Even in spite of losing, I gotta commend the effort from enemies. They played so incredibly well in the set, but congrats one more time to Starboard for taking the set, moving on to top 8. And with that being said, that is going to be all for this first block. We're going to be coming back to you shortly for the rest of the sets. But before we go, I got to find out, Neptune, where can we find you?
You can find me both at the CCA help desk. I'm a staff member there. Helping with production stuff there. But mainly, if you want to find me outside of that, I'm on Twitter and Twitch at Neptune with an underscore at the end there and a 2 instead of a TU there. But where can find people of twitch.tv find you, Pinky?
Well, you guys can find me here in about an hour at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where I'll be back for White Siege versus Our Apologies. But you guys can also find me at Twitter, at twitter.com/brokenpinky_, and also on Sheer Cold, which is a team I recently joined. I'll be commentating with my fellow teammate Toma. But with that being said, thank y'all for watching this first set. Back to you, Falco.
All right, thank you, Pinky. Thank you, Neptune. A wonderful showcase. We saw Starboard pretty much dominate in the first 3 games with enemies making some great pushes and even taking a game, and they were so close and had a lot of control during that last game, but unfortunately going down 5-1. And Starboard is going to be moving on to the top 8, and they already know their opponents, Squid Sushi. I think Pinky knows a little bit thing or two about that team, but yes, they're going to be facing them next week. But before that, way before that, in the next 15 minutes, we have another set coming up. I don't know if I said enough LAs or laws. Probably not enough. There's a lot that they typed in there. Versus C Bunny Plush. This is a Div 3 matchup. And remember, for Divs 3 through 1, there are only 8 teams who are going to be playing. So the competition is more fierce. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Nito and Keon on the mic for that one, and it's going to start in about 13 minutes from now. So you guys don't go anywhere. You are watching Ludi Tonight on Splatoon Tourney. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ludi Tonight. My name is Falco. The person next to me is missing. Nito's. I don't know where they are. And Keon, welcome on in. How are you?
Hello. Nito must be somewhere. We'll have to get him here in a bit.
I fixed it. The lighting issue. The lighting issue is that I didn't have enough lighting. So the fix here is to just not worry about lighting at all, and just have a pitch black screen.
Hey, that's perfect. That's what you need. The darker it is in your room, the better view you're going to have for this match between Lala versus Sea Bunny Plush. That is not the scene I wanted to go to. This is where we wanted to go to.
No, more emphasis on it.
Oh, we have a Div 3 matchup, and remember, top 8 already in this Div. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I will let you guys take it away from here.
Absolutely. So yeah, we got the fun Div 3 matchup ahead of us. Nito with La versus Sea Bunny Plush. I'm actually really excited to see how these two teams go at it here, with La finishing first in their respective groups. Actually have not dropped a set at all from that side, and Sea Bunny Plush is second from Group D with a 4-1-0 record. So I'm going to be excited to see how these two teams tango out, to say the least.
It's also noteworthy to note that Sea Bunny Plush has a 4-1 record, and so did Eggshell. So they're both in the same kind of level here. Group D was very competitive, as you may be able to figure out. But with La, they had a little bit of a bumpy road to get here. They were going 5-3, 5-2, 5-0. Last team dropped. This one's not going to be a drop, though. We're going to start playoffs. La versus Sea Bunny Plush, getting things started here in Mako Mart on Tower Control.
Yeah, and I take a look at the weapons right away here, Nito. It's pretty much a wide variety of different weapons, to say the least. The ones I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, at least for Sea Bunny Plush's end, which, for context, is on the purple color side, is how they take advantage of the Snipe Rider along with the Blaster as well. You got the Cooler, you got the Blaster, of course, for tower control reasons, and it's pretty much a very common weapon you would see here in Mako. For La, they got pretty much the Wiper and the Sniper. They got all the aggression right in front of them, but I'd be curious to see how this composition synergizes. Both teams kind of just straight into right out of the gate, so waiting to see how both these teams play out until La loses 3 right away.
And talk about aggression right out the gate. That's a delayed wipe for Sea Bunny Plush. She's going off to a great start here. That's going to be Bear on the tower. Working the Blaster does very well here, especially on maps like Mako Mart. Venok, they're losing the fight to the Blaster. That's 2 players down for La. Sea Bunny Plush is starting on the right track here. They've already gone past checkpoint 1. They're going to try to get themselves up towards checkpoint 2.
Yeah, on to checkpoint 2, and the same problem is happening for La. They just gain a little staggered out, gain out aggressed here by this forward comp here from Sea Bunny Plush, and they will be able to get past the second checkpoint. That's a very tricky checkpoint to get past, and they got the big bubble for extra defenses, and this is just La getting staggered in. No entryway to speak of until the Trizuka's there, taking out Bear in that process. Plush is down, Mika Plush for that matter is down, and Captain Happy is going to be completely surrounded by. So this push is stopped, but that is 6 points remaining. That's such a strong push there that it's going to be very hard for La to fight back. They're going to need to get something going here. They got the Kraken pop there, and hey, 2 down already from Sea Bunny Plush. That should help their cause.
It looked like a risky play from the Kraken, but it seems to pay off dividends, takes some of the attention off of La. Sea Bunny Plush has nowhere to go, and they go 3 players down. That's a delay triple for La as they look to get things started here. It's all up to the Carbon Roller, who gets the pick on. That was a V shot, and that's Captain Happy there of Wipeout Punk's fame, now on Sea Bunny Plush. That's 2 players down now for La. Sea Bunny Plush looking to get things started yet again. La has been struggling just a little bit on the offensive side. So far, they've had to they spent the rest of the match working on the defensive side, wondering how they can get players out of their hair, basically.
Yeah, and the tricky thing for La is the fact that they spent so much time having to defend this Sea Bunny Plush's push that was happening throughout. With Sea Bunny Plush basically taking advantage of their specials, whether it is the Trizuka from the Carbon Roller deck, which unfortunately went down right as I said it. This team has just been able to take on the aggression, able to take out La when it matters the most. And we did see the Stamper Zipcaster completely getting punished there on top of it. So again, La trying to make opportunities happen. They're trying to make it happen with the Kraken to help build up the space and make sure that they can disperse Sea Bunny Plush all over the board, but none of these attempts have been working so far, and they're down 2 once again, and we do get to see this tower push happening there, but it looks like it's going to probably be stuck in this neutral state. Sea Bunny Plush will be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a lead as big as 6 points remaining, you gotta be feeling somewhat comfortable about it, and just like you said, you've been spending so much time on the defensive end of things. We're already 3 minutes into the match. There's only about a minute 45 left for La to make anything happen. It's going to be Rosie on the tower here as they try to get towards checkpoint 1 and get past checkpoint 1. C-Bunny Push has already cleared all the checkpoints, getting ready for any next pushes they might make. Captain Happy might see the 2v1 there, along with Venok. Venok goes down. It's all up to the Rat Kraken to get some picks on the board. 2 players down on both sides. There's going to be Splash going down as well as Captain Happy. A neutral battle going back to a neutral battle as actually the Ultra Stamp takes out one more player.
Yeah, and that Ultra Stamp taking out 1, that should effectively keep this push going here for La, and they're about to try to get this push kickstarted once more. So if you're C-Bunny Plush, you don't really you just gotta make sure you don't continue you don't lose your members. You don't have any specials available, so look for the flanks to happen there as both teams trade 1, and it still trades, but again C-Bunny Plush will win out on these trades in these certain situations. They got a huge lead, and that hammer is completely punished there. Miayo, I believe, has gotten them with the Kraken, and this push is gonna be retreating back here. They can't get the second checkpoint just yet. La, they got a Kraken that is ready to go if they want to use it. There they go. They use the Kraken right away. Now they're trying to again displace C-Bunny Plush around this around their base, but they can't get any picks on it until that Sniper Rider does go. Trizuka being fired in all sorts of directions. The hammer, but they are losing members fast. C-Bunny Plush looking to be in the driver's seat.
Look at this, it's all up to the Wiper who does a bit of damage with the stamp. Not enough to take all the players out, but they're able to save the day for C-Bunny Plush. They're holding strong with 10 seconds left on the clock. They've got the bubbler there to try to soften the blow here from this one shot player, I believe it was, and yes it was. But we're gonna go on to Captain Happy here, trying to make something happen with this Trizuka, prevent La to go any further. They actually go get a few players off the side of C-Bunny Plush.
Yeah, they got a few players off of C-Bunny Plush. They got the Trizuka that could find value, but they gotta find value very fast. But everybody's gone from the tower. All you gotta do is just take control of the tower right then and there. And C-Bunny Plush, great start to this playoff set, winning the first map here on Mako Mark Tower Control.
And the weatherman calls for aggression on the forecast, and guess what we get? We get aggression. You talked about it earlier. That's just trades being taken on either side, blows being on both sides as well. I mean, goodness gracious, this is starting to make out for one heck of a matchup as we see one player from Splash trying to make things happen for La, trying to get one last push off the board. They nearly do. They actually make it towards where they were previously. Captain Happy, they're in a little bit of trouble. That's so close just to making that second push, that overtime push happen.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what happened to the rest of the players on the tower. Was it the sniper that might have gotten them? Because yeah, that was a Trizuka shot trying to get the members out of there. And if I look closely, yeah, the one sniper. Okay, it was just a team effort overall. Again, a flank there from C-Bunny Plush. The sniper did their job there. And yeah, we freeze it right there. The sniper just gets one of those picks. And with the coordinated team effort around this tower on defense, C-Bunny Plush pretty much knew their assignment. They just got to collapse onto that tower control. That's 6 points remaining. That is such a strong lead that C-Bunny Plush didn't need to really overextend or try to do too much. Just one nice defensive stop, and that was all, and that's really all they needed to do.
You mentioned the sniper on their side. I believe that was a Sniper Rider. That is one of the best weapons to have in terms of chip damage, because then if you have the Carbon Roller, which is able to clean up picks so efficiently and so cleanly, once you have a weapon like Sniper Rider, that pair up does so well, especially in risky situations like that. If you ever have a risky situation, all you gotta do is send out a Sniper Rider, maybe send out one of those skirmisher type players like the Carbon Roller, and we're gonna see if they do the same thing here in Rainmaker Undertow Spillway. This is gonna be game 2. Now there's the Crust Sniper Rider. Next you have a Gluga Dualies now. Look at that.
Okay, a lot to process here. So basically, both teams are going with the Trizuka cooler to boot. You got a very aggressive set of weapons from La with the Wiper and the Stamper. But I'm gonna keep note of these Gluga Dualies that C-Bunny Plush has. I actually don't mind this choice. You also have the Booyah Bomb on top of it too. But I'd like to see how this entire setup here from C-Bunny Plush is gonna mesh. Here, La, it's pretty much clear they want to be in your face at each go around. And somehow Mihayo went down. I think that you were about to note that there too, but the Trizuka's gone down. Big Plush picks up the Rainmaker.
Zuka fight. It's like I'm watching a food fight in the middle of a friggin' like the lunchroom at school. Just people slinging Zuka shots all across the map. As we see Captain Happy here has the Zipcaster ready. Might have to pop it soon. They have a numbers advantage right now, but they still have to get the Rainmaker shield popped. La has been looking for another way in. They're trying the same things they've been trying, and it actually works out pretty well here. They're trying to take away some attention from Seabunny Plus to snipe there with the Zuka splash. My goodness!
What was that arcing shot from the Trizuka on top of it too? That landed in the ball in the perfect position there. Lala was able to hold everybody off there, and now they pick up this Rainmaker. Now I think they're gonna probably be splitting focus here. They're gonna try to get one member on the right hand side, try to aim as either a misdirection or basically try to throw everybody off their guard. As Lead, I don't know, basically gets one there as Bear goes down on top of it. They do get a quick lead change here. Wasn't much of a lead to begin with. As two members are down, and that is the stamp. Nicely done. And the stamp can't find Miku Blush. That's going to be okay. The first check win for La.
Oh my goodness, if you wanted masterclass on arc shots, La is going to provide it. Here comes Lead IDK. I don't know what that acronym stands for. Probably, I don't know. But we're going to try to push that past that Rainmaker, getting up to 47 points remaining. See how far the crates take him. Lead, I don't know, it's facing a bit of a sticky situation. I almost said Mayo. But the Gluga Duel is there with the stop.
Yeah, Miayo basically took advantage of that range with the Gluga Dualies there, and it was pretty much well placed. They tried to go with a very great maneuver there that almost worked out, and then they realized, oh wait, the Glugas is right there. Maybe we do need to pause up for a bit there. Both teams are basically scrapping out fights right now with the Rainmaker resetting back. So Lala not able to make it to the unmakeable path just yet. But as we do see the Stamper, can the Stamper find anybody else? No, not quite yet. So once again, both teams stuck into this neutral state there. The Wiper is down for La.
I was watching the Wiper, hoping they noticed it at some point. It looks like Seabunny Plush dead. La was about to have another misdirection play there, and that seems like they've been doing that a lot because they have a lot of weapons they can poke around with. They have especially the Wiper and the Stamper. Those two are probably you're going to see those two work together as they take out the Rainmaker. They actually got two players down now for Seabunny Plush. Looking to make a statement and say, hey, we can be on the offensive side of things too. After that last match, they struggled a little bit, but they got themselves up to 42 points remaining. You gotta remember, no lead is safe in Splatoon here because this is one of the most fast-paced games you'll ever see. You actually got two players down now. Now they're starting to trade blows yet again.
So while we're stuck into this neutral state, you're absolutely right. This is honestly not a safe lead because in that La push, he didn't make it to the unankable path or barely did. La though, with two down, able to take out members from Seabunny Plush there, which should help their cause there as Captain Happy's this push is going to get punished there. Lead, I don't know at all. Not able to find anybody else with the Ultra Stamp just yet. They pick up this Rainmaker. I'd like to see how La take advantage here, try to find the path onto the unankable path, which they will not anymore. Met with a Trizuka shot. So again, Seabunny Plush, they got decent amount of painting. They got Blue Bomb that is available if they want to take advantage of it, but they're probably going to wait until it's the right time to do so. Cooler being dished out here from Miku Plush. We're down to a minute left on the clock here, Nito.
Miku Plush starting to make the push. Needs to get past 97 remaining. They haven't done that all game, and they only have a minute to go here. They have no choice but to go for it, but they can't if they go two players down like that. Three players now for Seabunny Plush. La is now left to fight Bear all alone with the V-shot there. Has to charge it that Trizuka because we know how valuable of a resource that Zuka's become nowadays. Has Miayo there for backup at least, but here comes the Zipcaster from the top rope. Looking to get Miku pushed if they can get a pick there. Oh, wow, actually, there's Bear there with the pick, with the V-shot. Here comes Rosie, though, trying to get a few more picks, trying to get at least in the enemy territory. Gets the triple there. That's triple on both sides. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's a triple on both sides, but if you look at the context of the state of this game, there's only 9 seconds left to go. That triple might help their cause. This has to be a quick pickup here from Seabunny Plush. They have to start setting up as soon as they can. They got 1 second here until overtime kicks in. They got the Blue Bomb set up in a place where they got pain available, but they gotta find members quick, as I believe the Wiper did go down, but they may have picked up the Cooler earlier for the quick respawn. So they're still holding on to this Rainmaker. The timer is still thinking, no! But they may have pushed a little too far and collapsed by La. And hey, we're trading blow for blow here, Nito. La gets their first map of the set.
Okay, everyone in the chat right now, just take a break, get some snacks, get some water. It's going to be a long one. You see, it's already 1-1 right now. I guarantee if this game goes to a game 9, I called it here. Which, I mean, again, this might be commentator's curse. So, I'm going to stop talking on that. But I'm just saying, do grab some snacks and grab some water. That's also pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely grab as much as you can here. We might be in for a very entertaining set. Again, I noted there, it was a 3-for-3 trade with about 15 seconds left on the clock. So everybody from C Bunny Plush had to basically pop this Rainmaker and try to get set up there, which actually gives Lala a chance to advance forward and set up for the aggression here. And I gotta see what ended up happening here as the Trizuka put everybody away, but I think this is just straight up painting here from Lala that allowed some of those flanks to happen. Yeah, from the left-hand side from this perspective. And then you got the Wiper just lurking large, left unchecked, able to just jump in and get a few swipes down to take out the Rainmaker. So basically, C-Bunny, that was an untimely 3-for-3 trade with the amount of time left on the clock because C-Bunny Plush had to basically get that Rainmaker popped just in time. But I think but hey, as we may see a little bit of lighting here, Nito. I'd like to see how both teams adjust this next one here coming up in Scorched Clams.
Yeah, I'm still looking for lighting. Just give me a sec. In fact, if you look at my screen, there's like a little bit just above my name tag. You see, there's a little rectangle.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of it there. No worries, we still have it.
Look. We have. There is some lighting for you, Neil. You're gonna have to go on a quest to find lighting somewhere. Where you'll find it is a different story. Maybe you'll have to go out to Mako Mark from the first map alone, buy a few light bulbs. But yeah, Neil.
Covered in ink.
That's true. Let's say so. I look at Scorched Clams. This could be fascinating because again, the constant I've seen here, C Bunny Plush has that sniper that they've constantly been using. So I'd like to see it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back. But both teams have kind of been changing things up based on what we've seen from the map so far. I'm actually kind of excited to see what both teams want to dish out for this Scorched Clams map.
Oh man, I mean, I think, honestly, if I'm C Bunny Plush, there's really no reason for me to change what I've been doing. I think I might see that blaster come back, especially because Scorched Clams is going to be the best map mode for it, but we're going to see the comps come out. Here's La going with the same wipers they've got here. There's a blaster I was talking about. That's actually the range blaster too, so that's an excellent pick just to get a bit more range on it, hopefully distance themselves, whatever La might have sneaking up beside them.
Yeah, C-Bunny Plush actually going to go with the double Trizuka and cooler setup there. Their cooler setup is the sniper as always, so they got the backline covered. Then they got the squeezer and the carbon roller deco, mix of aggression, front line and mid line there. And their fourth weapon, I call it the flex slot in this scenario, is the range blaster. I'd like to see how this range blaster is going to get value at all for C-Bunny Plush as much as possible. Both teams going to be farming up clams there. La with the early clam economy advantage as two members have gone down. This is now a quick pop that just spawned in, but there's two. Down and lead, I don't know, is going to be chased out of there. The squeezer is also down on top, but Captain Happy's is done as well. They might be able to get this push in. It's not punished at all, but will there be any follow-up to this? I don't think there will be. At least it will be the first push on the board for La. All things considered, though, but this will be a free pity claim available for C-Bunny Plush.
Who's got the lead? We don't know yet. It's still a minute to go. Here's Splash now coming in from the side with the zap there, working a few of the edges there. Actually, I believe that wasn't a zap. That was a V shot. Rosie now trying to make a move too. That's two players down now. 4 C-Bunny Plush. La has all the resources in the world, but they don't have all the players in the world. That's 2 players down now. So that's 3 now. It's a late triple. It's all up to Vinok to have to back up here. Try to save whatever they can. Captain Happy having a bit of luck there with the Trizuka, at least being able to push Venok back before Venok fights back with the Zipcaster, trying to get a few more picks if they can. Should be missed Bear, but Bear does go down anyway. And here it comes around outside lane. I don't know. Gets a triple now. All up to 1 player. It's all up to the squeezers in a 3v1. Not the best situation for them as La is able to get a power clam. Should be able to get this into the basket. No problem. Well, before that happens.
And then before that happens, of course, you have to speak there. But again, the power. But again, I was expecting probably more follow-up there from that delayed wipe situation there. But again, C-Bunny Plush able to hold him off just nicely there. I don't think they opted to pick up the big clam. I think just with the way that entire sequence played out, they weren't able to pick it up in time. That's gonna be no problem though. Now they have this wiper just kind of see through. This jump is gonna get punished here as well. But they will be trading for their lives. Big Plush was all over that one, as now both teams are trading too. One thing I like to note though is pretty much the same idea. They just want to get a push in no matter the cost. Even if you're 2 down, they're going to find a way to sneak in each go-around. C-Money Plush has to understand that could be a possibility there, as Venot is going to try to use that Zipcaster, see if they can find any value right away. 1-for-1 trade still, nothing to speak of just yet. They've got the cooler up there, and they are able to speed themselves up. First, the third push again. This could be the same story, though. Could be another one and done, and they're not able to find anything else just yet. As it looks like, though, again, the third one and done push, they got it down to 60 points remaining.
It almost seems like they're chipping away there. They got lit, like, push by little push. They've gone up to 60 remaining, which doesn't seem too big. But when you consider that C-Money Plush has been having troubles just trying to get into the end, trying to get near the clam basket, it's almost like all they have to do is just chip away slowly but surely get themselves a bigger lead. Here comes Captain Happy though with the Zuka, one pick on the V shot from La, and here comes the big push they've been looking for. Could this be the lead for them? Might have a little bit of trouble from Led, I don't know, but they got 2 players down, both teams with 2 players down now. Miku Push and Miyayo left to their own resources, has to get a few more jumps in just to see if they can get the players down. They got another few more players down. Captain Happy trying to get something working for them as they try to get this pick on Venoct, who's defending the clam basket so well. Fighting for its life here. Miku Push trying to sneak in as well. They do get the power clam in. Can they follow up with it though? Here comes Miyayo with at least 5 more clams, getting so close to the lead, but they have to back up there just at 68 remaining. That was a close call there for La.
This could be a very scrappy finish to this map here, because look at that. They got the power clamp spawn in, but they dropped it right away. So I think this is good. But this will be the wiper. I think they're trying to deny this power clamp from being picked up. Look at C-Money Plush. All the one and done pushes from La means that they aren't able to build such a big lead off of that one. You saw that one push there, Nito. It was just 1 plus 3 more, or correction, 4 more small clamps. They cut it down to an 8-point deficit. If La loses a huge fight here, if the Trizuka can find value, with the rest of the team finding 2 down. Now this is the space that they can build. The card roller Deco needs to start moving up there and see if they can find anybody else. Cooler's been dished out there, and that's 1. That's the card roller Deco. That's a huge pick. That's a 2nd. That is huge right there. Captain Happy trying to build something up for their team. They got 17 seconds left. Will they able to catch this one? Yes, they will, but it's 4 points remaining. And can they get anybody else out of there from out of Lala's end? They are gonna be able to get overtime at the very least. They aren't able to take full advantage of it whatsoever. They gotta wait for the barrier to come back down before they can get that push into OT. But they got 2 members out. They got 3. They got this power claim available. This power claim toss is going to be enough. Will this jump even work? Can they get it in? Yes, they do, Nito. That's all they needed. And C-Money Plush wrestles it back to win the 3rd map.
Oh, man. Claims overtime has been a pain for the longest time, but for C-Money Plush here in Game 3, it's a blessing. They go up 2-1 now, and like I said, grab your snacks now. Actually, just grab popcorn. This is pure cinema we're watching. This is pure cinema that we're getting on stream. This is one of a kind. I mean, we went into overtime looking at basically 4 people in front of the basket. This is what people in soccer are going to call parking the bus, all right? They're just going to put everyone in front of the basket, hope no one gets past, 2 players go down. At some point, Captain Happy comes in, and you start to notice this one big push here. It's a Hail Mary. They're going to just throw it straight to the clam basket. It just works out. They have enough time to put that into the basket and take the lead.
The perfect analogy here for all of you American football fans. You are correct. That's like the Hail Mary pass, right at the pass, and this time somebody was open in the end zone to cash that one in. That is how we get that. That is how we get that comeback victory there. And again, the few key moments there. 3 down on Lala's end. They get another push in, and C-Money Plush was able to take advantage. You saw that. However, one member from C-Money Plush went down. I thought they went down to a bomb. Had that been thrown a little farther, we could be talking about a different story there from what I noticed, because that pick only got 1 member out of there, and that was that. And by the end of it, that Hail Mary play worked out to perfection there, Nito. C-Money Plush is up 2-1. Both teams now have to prepare for ship-shape zones.
Ship.
You're still processing. You got time.
Twitch, I want to just point out, if you do end up TOSing Splatoon tourney, let me take the blame. I promise there was no cussing involved. I was talking about the map Ship Cargo Company Game 4 Splat Zones. Thanks Twitch. Anyway, here we go. Game 4 Splat Zones on Shape Cargo Co.
Yeah, now I need to see how Lala adjusts. That's a very devastating map to lose when you had all those one and done pushes. They're gonna keep the same thing, gonna try to hope for the same result. Other side, C-Bunny Plush, 2 different weapons available. The different Trizuka this time, but their fourth, I call the flex pick, is the Splat Dualies from Miyayo. They got a Crab Tank available and they got a Skirmishing Dualies to work with here. I actually don't love this pick, the Splat Dualies with the Crab Tank and the ability to skirmish with the way the ship shape is all set up. C-Bunny Plush will start things off. They'll get the retake, they'll get the lead just for maybe about 20 seconds or less, but this should be a lead zone split, excuse me, here as we start off this map.
Call it ship shape pizza delivery. You'll get that lead for 30 seconds or it's free. It doesn't look like it's free here though, because both teams are battling it out. We've seen this throughout the whole set. It's just a big bloodbath here as we trade a few picks. Just bit more. There's 2 players down, courtesy of Venok on the side of La. Here comes Captain Happy trying to make a play on Let Her Know. But Rosie, they're able to provide the backup. Here's 57 points remaining for La. They're getting even closer. It's already been a minute. They've actually gone past the halfway point. 4 minutes remain for both teams as apparently the so-called excavation company, I don't know, that's a Twitter thing for C-Bunny Plush, has to construct a comeback here as they're quickly losing space here. There's there with a crucial pick that might just be huge for C-Bunny Plush.
Yeah, that might be huge for C-Bunny Plush. They just have to get any members out of there right now. It's a trade for 2 for 2, and now everybody is done. C-Bunny Plush has been masters at being able to come back, as we saw from the last one. But this is a zones one, so they got to retain not only possession of the zone, but they got to get Lala no options to work with and pushing right up. But C-Bunny Plush, they lose 2 right out of the gate, so this should be the zones being neutralized, possibly being flipped. Yes, it will be the case. And now C-Bunny Plush is back to where they need to deal with there, and Lala is going to be taking down on those penalty points here. Back to a skirmish. The focus again. You have to start keeping the zones there. Those double Trizukas are going to help matters here as C-Bunny Plush, they get the zones back. The Zap is also punished for their crimes, and that will be C-Bunny Plush hopefully out of the penalty points.
Okay, punished for the crimes. Okay, I wasn't expecting that just in the middle of commentary. Keon, you're doing great on seriousness, and then I hear that, and it's just like, okay, cool. 58 points for me. Okay, from downtown with the Zuka picks. I mean, goodness, I never thought Zuka play would be this exciting, but goodness, they're proving me wrong here. Mega Push going down to let I don't know. There's 2 players going down to let I don't know. That's Bear going down as well. They have to clear those penalty points if they want to get themselves straight in KO territory. They've actually got 14 points remaining, so you got to keep an eye on that. You got to keep an eye on those penalty points as well. As C-Bunny Plus looks for a way back in, they have Captain Happy there, who's right on the sidelines, waiting to strike it. There it is, with 1 pick for him. Can they speak the zone? They do. That's more penalty points for La. As C-Bunny Plus just keeping themselves alive for now.
C-Bunny Plush has to do the exact same thing that La just did to them. They had to make sure that they don't give La a chance to fight back or even retake zones. La was able to do that nicely with the way they were pretty much set up there. Even with the composition that is so focused on short range, they were able to do just that. Or C-Bunny Plush might hesitate a little bit there. Zap again down. It's Captain Happy on a nice find there. They got the crab also planted on the right hand side. Somehow C-Bunny Plush is still retaining the zone, even though it's barely close to getting neutralized there. And La, they might be losing lead here soon unless the current roller deco going down from Captain Happy is going to help. They got to start the zone, and that's a huge zone slip there. That was much needed, but they lose 3. That should be okay. That just bought La enough time. Lead, I don't know. She's going to have to somehow jump up and barely get out. How did that even work? As now, look, Z-Bunny Plush, they got the zones back.
Hold on. Oh my goodness. You heard James walking on water here. Use the freaking jump from just barely above water. Splash now with the Zuka pick. I mean, okay, there's been Zuka picks all over the board here, but here comes Splash trying to get the zone painted. That's 2 players down, 1 on each side. Can they get the zone painted? They do. just in time. That's 50 seconds left on the clock, and now you see desperation starting to set in for both teams. Captain Happy now starting to get a little bit more aggressive as they need those picks just to make sure C-Bunny Plush keeps hold of the zone. That will bring them up to 3-1. They just want that comfortable lead because they've seen how well La has been able to do on the offensive side of things. If they can just keep this lead for now, this will help them dividends and pay off very well for them. But not if Vladimir has anything to say about it. There's 2 players down now. That's the zone for La. That's about 5,000 laws I just pointed out. That's, oh, goodness gracious, we're doing great here.
Yeah, Lead, I don't know, with a huge hit, is getting so much value out of that Ultra Stamp there, and even able to get the zones flip. This is, again, they just gotta stay alive. That's really honestly the key at this point. You have to make sure you're not caught out of bad positions there. But Lead, I don't know, going down, this could be a zones flip, but they lose Captain Happy in the process. They have to wrestle for control, and that they couldn't do that. La understood the assignment again, keeping the zones uncontested. We're trading blow for blow again here, Nito. I feel like we've mentioned it before. Both teams are tied 2-2.
It's like, I've made this analogy before. This is a boxing match. This is round 12. No team really, I mean, none of these players, like, none of these boxers really care. They're just going to swing blows until the other one goes down. I mean, we're at 2-2 right now. And we're heading into game 5. I mean, look at how this game played out. You'll notice it right off on the score here. It's just big push after big push after big push. And then here comes the last 30 seconds of the matchup. We're just fighting over who gets zone. There's like a 3-point difference. And really, whoever holds on to the zone for these last 5 seconds just gets the lead. I mean, goodness. I mean, you can't ask for a better playoff match than this.
Absolutely, and I think this is just a testament to how scrappy these 2 teams have been playing there. Again, they had to focus on playing over the zone. C-Bunny Plush just didn't have enough left in the tank to basically get the retake there. But again, both teams are just trading blow for blow. It really boiled down to is who will get the zones last and be able to sustain it even further. There, Lala's first push that got it down to 14 points range really was it. C-Bunny Plush could not replicate the same success from this one. We are map for map. We have looped back to tower control, and this time we're on Crab Lake, Nito. If it's anything that we know from the first one, C-Bunny Plush won this one. Will the script be the same, or will it change? I'm gonna be excited to see how this works out.
First off, there's a script. Falco, you need to work on that next time. I need the script on my desk right now because we need to submit this to the Oscars. This is best film material. Secondly, I think in terms of Crab Leg, I see that Blaster coming back just because there's a lot of grades for you to work with. The question is, do I see that Black Dualies coming back for the same reason? Now, you do have a lot more mobility if you bring out those Dualies. That means you get to move across the grades a lot faster than with any other weapon. But that Crab tank just becomes a little bit more, it becomes a little bit more volatile now because you still have everything that it offers you, but at the same time, you have a lot more openings for where someone could just sneak in and be like, pop, and just completely end things, especially when La has 2 wipers on their side, which we'll probably see here, unless I just Commentators Christmas stuff. Never mind, we're good. Awesome.
Yeah, no, Splash actually switching over to the 96 Gal Deco. They got a Kraken that is available, so it looks like the Kraken has been a core part of La strategy for these tower control matchups there. But they also do. But again, C-Bunny Plush is going to try to rely on the bubbler as well. Big thing to know is that I've seen a lot of weapons with Killer Whale 5.1s being used in this map, and C-Bunny Plush has one of their own with the 52 Gal there. So I actually like that choice. They're trying to snuff out any ideas of an attempted flank, so to speak, and you can also use that Killer Whale to make any callouts if you need to. Both teams basically kind of just scrapping one for one here, but it looks like C-Bunny Plush will be able to get past this first checkpoint.
Wow, okay, right before the bubbler pops off, we're able to sneak a pick with that Zuka. That's up to 80 points remaining now for C-Bunny Plush. I think this may be the same story here. We're going to see big push after push after push. Both teams trading the lead for a while now. Vecnock going down to Captain Happy very quickly on the side of the screen there. Captain Happy taking control of the tower for now. They got to watch out for Splash though. Splash is going to come around the side here. Rosie though trying to get a pick on Captain Happy. There's another pick. Found Bear. That's a delayed wipe for La. C-Bunny Plush now starting to get a bit of deja vu here. And actually, it's going to be La that takes control here. Can he get past the first checkpoint? It seems like they do, and they get a pick to top it off. That's the icing on top of the cake as they go past checkpoint 1. That's going to be the lead for them.
Yeah, and the key thing about that first checkpoint is the fact that the enemy team or the team playing on defense has an easy access to defend on that first checkpoint, and the issue unfortunately becomes once you lose the first one, the second one effectively nearly becomes the most freest checkpoint here on Crab Lake Tower. There, as yes, that second checkpoint is done, and now we get to see Lala. They get the two crucial. The first crucial checkpoint, and then of course the second one followed up suit. They did lose everybody else in the process, but that is what you really need at this stage. But C-Money Plush, though, they have a lot of time to work with, and again, the path to the second checkpoint is not as contestable, so I'd like to see how this one works out there. Lead, I don't know, gets completely caught out there, and the 960 deck goes down, and now this just goes back to the same scrappy fight here in neutral.
You're gonna hear me say Woo a lot, just because I'm seeing a lot of Zuka picks here from both sides. There's Captain Happy there making quick work with that 52 gal. Great stuff there, Captain Happy, proving to be one of the most mechanically skilled players in this set, as they do so well. Actually uses the wall there just to escape things. But we're starting to see now C-Bunny Plush making another big play here. Could this be the one way to get back to zone? And actually, I've been forecasting this so far. It's going to be big push after big push. And let's let I don't know has anything to say about it. There's a step on Miko Plush. And now Barry now trying to defend things. Does so. That's two players down now. That's one player down. Now they're starting to trade blows yet again. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, this is starting to get a little dicey here for La La La. They're starting to throw players into the fire, and it works out well for them most of the time, but then they find themselves in situations like that, and now all of a sudden C-Bunny Plush is about to take the lead.
This is literally the biggest snowball we're going to see here from C-Bunny Plush here as they take out 3. This is an easy lead changer unless the Zipcaster comes out clutch there, as it looks like they will not. This will just be a quick tower retake and the lead officially, and now you have the rest of C-Bunny Plush. They know that once you get that second checkpoint here on Crab Lake, you can just push up and get the third, and they are doing just that. They are playing this map perfectly here, and this could be the KO, and it will! Lead, I don't know, is just a second too late, and C-Bunny Plush wins Crab Lake Tower control.
You know, I'm going to be honest and say I'm kind of glad the Gorillas didn't make playoffs, because I would have to fight against this, and there would be multiple heart attacks going on within me. So, like, kudos to either C-Bunny Plush or Lala. Whichever team wins and whichever team loses, I gotta say, your heart health is all the way on top right now. You can probably run a marathon and be fine for another, so kudos to you. But here's where things start to go wrong for La La La. Like you said, there's a bunch of snowballing here. And I was kind of talking about it earlier, how La 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 starting to throw a little bit of caution into the wind, because they knew they had a big lead. All they had to do was just make sure they didn't risk C-Bunny Plush making a big play like this. But once they got 3 players down, you kind of saw the writing on the wall here for La La La. C-Bunny Plush able to get by. And actually, I believe, yes, they do get the KO here. So they have to watch out for these snowbally effects going on. It's these snowballing moments.
Honestly, just the nature of Crab Lake Capital Tower Control, where you lose the first checkpoint, things can just spiral out of control if it's played very well, and that's what we saw from C-Bunny Plush there. They get the first checkpoint. The second one, the path to the second was a little treacherous thanks to lead. I don't know, it's very valiant stop there, but it just did not. But they couldn't keep that up any longer. So we go on to Museum Rainmaker again. We're back to the same thing. Both teams kind of just trading map for map here. Lala has won that Rainmaker one last time in the rotation. So for C-Bunny Plush, it's something that's going for them is that this is a very commonly played map mode here in Museum Rainmaker. You don't normally see a lot of Crab Lake Tower unless we're going crazy here, of course, which usually I'm usually right on that regard. But hey, this is a good time for C-Bunny Plush to now start figuring out how they can win this Rainmaker map here, as we somehow, I think, are barely getting any light, or it's still pitch black. I think we've gotten darker over on Nito's side.
Oh god, you don't even see the little rectangle I was talking about earlier. Well, I'll tell you what I do see. What I do see is Keon almost like drinking too much water. That I think hopefully I don't make you laugh too much there. But what I do see here is like C-Bunny Plush I think they can hold strong here. They know that La 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 likes to throw caution into the wind, and the way Museum's shaped, there's a lot of area for them to take advantage of, and I think their comp is going to reflect just that. Actually, they actually got quite a lot of paint, so I think they're still taking advantage of it. They have a lot of paint just to make sure they can enable Captain Happy to just go in and go ham, while the rest of them can just sit back, make sure they're watching for whatever La 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 has. As both teams go into the neutral battle, here comes Captain Happy, also with the assist from Miayo. There's 2 picks now for C-Bunny Plush as they look to get things started here in Game 6 until that pick comes out from left field.
Yeah, there's just a Trizuka that actually takes out everybody from the ramp there. Again, both teams are kind of just scrapping things out. If I take a look again at the composition here that C-Bunny Plush has, they got the Hero Shot Replica and the Carbon Roller Deco. Again, back to the double Trizuka cooler setup. And the 4th weapon of choice is the 96 Gal Deco. They got a Kraken that is available, and this is honestly a really good choice here as well for this Museum Rainmaker map. So Lala is back to the same idea of just playing aggressive and in your face, trying to help build up the space on this short range comp, but it loses in range if the 96 Gal Deco is set up nicely. So I need to see how Lala adjusts for that. Wiper is going to be down, and so is the Shot Replica. The Rainmaker is going to get picked up from Lala.
Fortunately, this strategy here is starting to sound like a broken record, but does La have to face the music just yet? Miku Plush now trying to get something working here. Maybe if he could charge that cooler, that would be huge for y'all, but it looks like he might not need it at all. Here comes another big push. You've got 2 specials coming out from the side of C-Bunny Plush. Here comes the Trizuka. Here comes the Kraken. Here comes a bit, and just gets barely taken out before they can reach the pedestal there. That's a miss. Check that's a wipeout for La. My goodness, that's C-Bunny Plush going down 4 players. And now La has to respond quickly if they want to get this pedestal. They might be able to do so unless Miku Plush has anything to say about it. Miku Plush proving that vocal is not the only thing they're good at as they actually go 3 players down. Now here's C-Bunny Plush in another sticky situation. Can Miku Plush find another clutch moment in them? That's going to be La taking the first checkpoint.
Very fascinating fight around this one. Both teams losing multiple at a time, but Lala was able to sneak that one through with that checkpoint being cleared out there. This is going to be the Rainmaker being reset here, and now it's the same. And now C-Bunny Plush is having to play from behind here in Rainmaker, but only not by much though. They just got to get through the first checkpoint and then get a few more out of there. But La is losing members fast. So for C-Bunny Plush, they no reason to panic just yet. You got a lot of time, 2.5 minutes left to go, and it's only just the first checkpoint. If you can make that jump here, which they may be set up for, no, actually they're gonna opt to take the Kraken path here. Can Miayo get anybody else there? And it looks like they take 2, and this will be the slam home. The checkpoint's been cleared here, Nito, and maybe the lead here. If C-Bunny Plush is able to break this one through, they should be in position to do just that. There's the jumps coming in. Now they just gotta throw everything into this bubble right now. That Rainmaker's been popped there, and can they throw this Trizuka into this Rainmaker? They get 2. Somehow the Rainmaker gets swept up from Lala, but they are wiped out anyway.
That's a wipeout for La. C-Bunny Plush looking pretty as ever, just as great as ever. Here comes Miayo. Here comes Miku Plush. If you watch Low and Glare, I think what they're trying to do here is so similar to what Overtime did. They're trying to just make sure they can stack that Rainmaker and the Kraken, try to keep them together, but maybe they don't need it. Where's Bear? Getting so close to the pedestal. 4 points remaining. It's so close with 1:30 to go. Lala starting to face a huge mountain here that they're going to have to climb. That's 58 remaining for them. They cleared the pedestal, but they have yet to get past it. I mean, they're looking at a sea of purple right now. That's a lot they have to cover, and just by the comp that C-Bunny Plush has, there's just so much pain for them. As I mean, they're the Viper here just trying to look for a way in. May have to use a Zipcaster there. Spider-Man's quickly shut down. Where's Bear starting to turn into Venom here?
But where else can this go upon here for La? They're about 50 seconds left, and there's only 22 seconds left here on this Rainmaker, so they're gonna lose the Rainmaker here soon on this attempted push. They're probably gonna try to opt for that desperation maneuver. You gotta watch where your Rainmaker position is. You don't have much time left on the clock. You either have to just eat one, which is right there. The Trizuka will take out the Rainmaker holder there, but they only had like 10 seconds left before they can make this push happen. The little ill time from La La La, all things considered, but C-Bunny Plush loses 2 of their own. And now C-Bunny Plush looking to pick up this Rainmaker back to mid, and I'm going to be wondering about this one here because I may have given La La a chance to fight back. The 96 Gal Deco is also down. So, La La has to build up that space, try to make something happen. Can Lead, I don't know, or IDK even find anything else. They got the Roller Deco out of there. They gotta make this push close to the pedestal. Can Lead, I don't know, just that. They actually take out 2, but Lead, I don't know. Their front line is down. Miayo's trying to do something with that Kraken. They have to move themselves up to where the sniper is right there, but they are out of the picture, and C-Bunny Plush holds on, and they are at match point for advancing to top 4.
Oh, please don't tell me I Commentators curse this one. We're already at match point. We're just at game 7. My goodness, I want to see more of this. And now this is not just me talking about Ludi Fantasy, not because I had La 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 winning the entire division or anything, but I want to see this go to a game 9 just because, oh my goodness, I think at some point, and I think once we start reaching the latter stages, if we do, they're going to start throwing strategy in the wind. They're just going to throw caution in the wind. This is just, I mean, look at how much La 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 is doing so far. Here comes Splash just jumping into that purple area, and they actually get a pick on Bear there. That's going to be, I believe that was the Venoct with the pick, but here comes Miayo right under them.
Man.
It's a dangerous situation for La La La, but they don't care. Just as long as they can get that lead, they'll do whatever it takes. And I bet we're going to see the same strategy here as we head into Game 7 on a fan favorite, the one and only. Barnacle. I don't know. Barnacle.
So, real quickly there for La La, they're only making so many minor tweaks there. They're just getting outclassed here by some of the Trizuka shots that are landing from C-Bunny Plush and the teamwork on top of it as well. So also the thing to note with that push that La La had, they were pretty much just caught in a corner there. The Kraken could have easily jumped in and tried to put the Rainmaker all over the board. The only option that the Rainmaker had was to go up to over the grates, but that was just where the sniper was just waiting for them, and so that's how that map ends. We move on to Barnacle and Dime, Game 7, and if you're La La La, you gotta figure out what the gameplay change here is. How do you deal with the Snipe Rider, even if you are La La La? C-Bunny Plush has gotten your number on some of these occasions, so what's the plan here for La La La?
So the plan here for La La La, and you gotta look back at what you're able to do in Game 2 and Game 4, because I think as far as offense goes, you've been doing very well, and I think the key here is to just make sure you can disrupt Miku Push as much as possible. That's the anchor. Maybe this is basic like Splatoon 101 kind of stuff, but the anchor's been doing so much, not only in clutch plays, but in just to get how well they've been able to support their players, especially with that Snipe Rider. I think the Snipe Rider is highly underrated just because of how much chip damage it can do. So if you can use that same sort of disruption against the Snipe Rider, then C-Bunny Plush doesn't have that sort of support. As we're going to see both teams start off here. Here comes the Baton Stamper, actually, that we're noticing from C-Bunny Plush. We were trying to replicate a similar strategy that La 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 has been having. But La 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 coming out with the Zukas very early on, making sure they can try to build on that pick they got earlier.
So a few things to know here while both teams are basically gathering up plans. La La are going with the Wiper Deco, by the way. Beacons and missiles are now online if they want to make that work, but they gotta figure out the right time to place those beacons for that matter. And as you mentioned, C-Bunny Plush going back to the Samper, but they also got the CDS there on top of it, which should have the Super Chumps if I'm not mistaken. So Chumps a great weapon to pretty much displace everybody else, try to get everybody thrown into the sea of chumps there. So let's see how both teams try to adjust with this one. C-Bunny Plush have already farmed up their first power clamp.
This is kind of funny. I like that. They pulled the Super Chumps, and they noticed that paint heavy comp they used last map worked very well in their favor, so they're going to try to use it again and actually add a little bit more to it. But as I say that, there's a wipeout for C-Bunny Plush. La 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 now with the huge numbers advantage, and if they can get a Zuka pick, it's going to add on their advantage just a bit more. They don't get the pick they were looking for. That They got one player picked off themselves. That's actually 2 players now. They're just starting to trade blows yet again. 77 remaining, so they at least avoid giving C-Bunny Plush getting away with a super clam, but that's still a very close lead here. I think La has been struggling, like both teams have been struggling just to get into enemy territory, but La gets the first pick so far. This is going to be one heck of a matchup as both teams trying to use their aggression there to take advantage of the other team, but it looks like it's going to be a close battle so far.
And again, Miku Plush is just not being contested right now. There, Lala are just having a hard time dealing with the front lines here from C-Bunny Plush. There's a little bit of a sneak attack that both team that C-Bunny Plush has to deal with, but they're gonna be able to get everybody up there and see if they can get anybody else. Miku Plush just needs one more for that power climb to be available. Can they build the space? They got paint. They got 2 members down. They're gonna take the left-hand side. This will actually work unbelievably, but where is that follow-up? Is the follow-up gonna be there at all from C-Bunny Plush? I don't think it looks like they may have been pushed out here just a bit. Yes. Pushed out, so this push is a one and done from C-Bunny Plush, but as you mentioned, with the earlier push with just being a 1+1, it's this deficit is only shrunk to 3.
So welcome back to Scorched Clams. If you remember, they were just chipping away at each other's lead. We're going to see the exact same thing, except now C-Bunny Plush is starting to get some of the action too. I mean, we noticed that in the Scorched Clams game, it was mostly La doing all the work, but now C-Bunny Plush is going to start doing the same thing. They're going to start chipping away at each other's leads. They don't have much time though. Look at that, we're already down to 2 minutes remaining, and we already see a Ultra Stamp coming out. Here comes Let I Don't Know, trying to get a few more picks. Bear in a bit of trouble, jumps out just in the nick of time. We're looking at the jump outs here. We're going very good at these, and it's becoming very scary here.
Yeah, so here's the thing though for La, this is not a safe lead at all. You need another push, honestly, to get this lead a lot more manageable, because one push, just even one power climb alone from C-Bunny Plush will be the lead. So now I need to see how this works. They got the beacons placed in a position where La can try to take advantage. 10 of missiles have been used just earlier, trying to make sure that they can displace everybody else. Miaio is not down, unbelievably, but they built enough space for that jump to happen. There's 3 down. This has to be the time to take advantage if you are La, and they're doing just that. 3 down from C-Bunny Plush. They're at least cut it down to 50. Can they keep this basket alive? I don't think they will be able to. They have to understand. They have to understand this is for their looty lives right now. So they're gonna be playing this one safe. 53 seconds. It's only a 30-point difference here, Nito.
This is big here. Like you said, they want to play it safe, but like you also said, no lead is safe here. This is 50 points remaining. This could go down in the blink of an eye. I mean, here comes Led, I don't know, sneaking by a power clam. That's 39 points remaining. But now, dude, again, do they have any follow-up? There's 9 clams. They have 9 clams with them. But can they follow it up? There's a power clam coming in. Here's Splash sneaking in. 29 points remaining. And as I was thinking, like, do they have anything to follow it up with? They just said, we're going to send some guy down the middle, and we're going to hope that something good happens. And something good very clearly happened for them, because now they're down to 29 points remaining.
I'm gonna break that one here in post, because that might have been the winning push here that La needed, because that is a big enough lead that they can take advantage of. Now here's the thing: C-Bunny Plush has 2 power clams, but gonna need more than just the 2. This is Lala's time to clamp down on defense. They're doing just that. It's a 3 down, and now this will be the delayed wipe. La is gonna be happy to know that their looty lives are still alive as all the jumps are being punished here. La will seek another chance to stay alive in this playoff chase as they win this one.
Oh my gosh! And now we're down to game 8. We're getting much closer to the illustrious game 9. The game 9 that all true warriors strive for. My goodness! I mean, La La Land and La Land. No, I mean, I guess it's as good as the movie. I forgot there was a movie called La La Land. But focusing on this matchup here, this is pure cinema.
So, I need to break this one here because this replay notes the big defense there from La that should help their cause. The big thing with the big thing here that La just did, they sent 2 members rushing down. How did lead, I don't know, not get punished earlier? Where the defense broke down at the worst time for C-Bunny Plush, because with that push, they broke it down to 49, and then the other power claim got snuck in. there. I don't know how La 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 was able to get away with that one. That's where me screaming happened there just now. And that was the critical state too is, had that not happened the way it did, that would have been a big opportunity for C-Bunny Plush to just swing this one to hopefully seal this set home. But by rushing 2 in at the end in the last like 40 seconds, they made that deficit much more harder for C-Bunny Plush to manage. And now we're going to humpback zones for this game 8.
Okay. Game 8, humpback pump track. Now I think this could be a 1-for-1 replica of what we saw in ship-shaped zones. We're going to see just the lead trading off over and over again, because when it's splat zones and you have a objective that's stationary, I think at this point it's both teams just like sending people down in enemy territory and seeing how many picks can you get and can we hold on to this advantage, because that's what I saw on ship-shaped clams. I want to see how it plays out with humpback pump track. Now I think this means C-Bunny Plush brings out the charger. Not the charger. Well, I mean sure, but the blaster yet again. And I think La La La, honestly, they've been working very well with the same comp so far and holding on. So we're probably going to see the same thing come out from them. There's the same comp, and we see the same thing coming out. That's the slosher coming out from Bear on the side of C-Bunny Plush.
I love this. You got trip strikes available if you can take advantage. Miao's is on 52 duties. There are a lot to know here, but Lala, they know that this beacon choice has worked and here, so they're gonna use this for this pivotal game 8, where now the zone needs to be painted with as much paint as they can. Lala does have 2 that can support it. I think C-Bunny Plush has that sniper and everything else in tow. Both teams are kind of just scrapping it out, trade after trade after trade. It's going to come down to who can truly secure the zone. That's going to be 2 down on Lala's, and C-Bunny Plush doesn't want none of what happened in the previous map there, as this should be the zone's cap. Yes, C-Bunny Plush will take zone.
All right, C-Bunny Plush holding on to the lead for now and holding on to the zone for now as well. This is crucial now. We might not see a repeat if they can hold on to this. We might not see a repeat of ship-shaped clams as we see Splash there. There's one Zuka pick. There's whistles. Oh, this could be huge. Miku Plush left to their own device, and it would happen as quickly as that. You can't be too safe in a game like Splatoon, because then that happens, and now La 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 has control of the zone. Might not even last for long, though, as now C-Bunny Plush gets back into control.
Yeah, C-Bunny Plush losing that crucial fight, and now they're trying to force everybody out of there right now. Trip strikes to protect Captain Happy behind the smoke screen there effectively, as again, Lala cannot punish C-Bunny Plush at all, and this will be C-Bunny Plush out of the penalty points here big time, and now they can take down more of these points remaining. Lala, they needs to find the way to retake. They lose 2, but that Trizuka leaves one alive and no longer anymore, but they gotta rush into the zone despite the wipeout. They got to prevent C-Bunny Plush from rushing in, and they did just that. Penalty points once again applied here. Lala should be out of here shortly.
Watch out, though. You've got a few players now. Splash has to watch out for Miku Plush. If Miku Plush can get a hold of that, that's going to be perhaps very quickly for Splash. But Miku Plush there gets the cooler popped out. This could be huge, as now C-Bunny Plush is going to start to make their way back in. That's a quick try strike. Can it paint the zone? And will it be enough to paint the zone? Will it be enough to actually go 3 players down now? Here's Miku Plush yet again. Lets it own devices. Gets picked off in midair. And now it's La La La's game to lose, because now they've gone up to 38 points remaining. That's going to be the lead for them. C-Bunny Plush now. And now they're stuck in the same position La 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 was once once earlier, because now they're stuck in a position where they can't get in.
They need to force the zones, but they did just that, and now Lala are trying to start on this quest to force a game 9, and now they take out 2 members, and that's a stamp to going on a delayed triple there. So Nito, it's the same thing. La needs to do the exact same thing that they just did just prior. Yes, they did lose zone earlier to force them into the penalty points. C-Bunny Plush needs to be able to punish the rest of La. This is such a close quarters comp that if Miku Plush finds one of them out of position, that's going to be huge. They throw the trip strikes here. That should be enough to neutralize zone. Where's Bear is there to paint over it. They got the Trizuka, not able to find the zap, and they will still keep this in neutral for at least a tad moment until now. So C-Bunny Plush wins that on that delayed triple there. They're trying to set up for pain. They now are trying to make sure that Lala has no entrances in. They got a minute and 34 to get out these penalty points and take lead again.
Much like a car, you can't leave this game in neutral because it has to go forward at some point. And it's saying this going forward so far for C-Bunny Plush, unless La has anything to say about it. They're going to be very close here. They need to hold on to the zone if they want to get a few more points on the board. It's still anybody's zone here. It's still being contested very well by La. Now here comes the missiles. Here comes these torpedo now as well. But they lose the zone. La still holding on for now. Splash, they're in a little bit of trouble. Captain Happy able to clean that up. Miayo and Bear. Now Captain Happy coming around the side. Can he take care of Rosie there? Rosie goes down as well. C-Bunny Plush has to hold on. They have 50 seconds left on the clock, and they can hold on here. They're going to be moving on to the next round. La has to find a way in. The desperation starting to set in even more now. They've got 2 players down.
That's a bad time to lose, too. They're just out of the penalty points, and it's just the Zap and the Wiper Deckle that's just alive, but that might be enough. The Wiper Deckle needs to run in there. They won't be able to paint over the zone. They lose lead right and now the trip strikes are being dished out here. Carmel Deckle's down. Can C-Bunny Plush hold on to the zone for just enough time? They're throwing all the paint into the zone. They lose too. And now this is a Hammer needs to do enough plus that they won't be able to do anymore. And C-Bunny Plush comes all the way back into this Humpback Zones map, and not only do they win this one, they move on to top 4. Congratulations, C-Bunny Plush.
Did you notice that? The zone went neutral, like right as the game ends. The game ends, and then the zone goes neutral. They got it, but not in time. That has gotta be the worst way to go out, but I mean, you can't blame it. This is one heck of a matchup. I mean, I know it's cliche to say this could have gone either way, but I mean, look at it. The zone goes neutral as soon as C-Bunny Plush wins the game. That you can't ask for a more this could go either way ending than that.
You really can't. Honestly, any changes from any of the previous times, we'd be talking about a different record, but we honestly need there's a lot to break down. There's not going to be enough time because the next set is going to be waiting for us here. So, Falco, over to you again.
What an incredible showcase. I swear, these two teams... Nito, hi, welcome back. These two teams were not holding back with whatever was thrown towards them. I love seeing Captain Happy's roller, the carbon roller, come out, all the stampers, all the wipers. Really incredible play, and there was just too much. You guys were talking fast, but there was so much to catch up on and mention during the game, and it was just a lot to squeeze in. I would say that is set of the year of any set that doesn't go to a game 9. Like, the best of a game 8 that we've seen, a 5-3 win for C-Bunny Plush, and you're right, they will be moving on to the top 4 of Div 3. But yes, Keon, as you alluded to, we do have one more set tonight. It is going to be White Siege versus our Apologies. This is going to be a Div 6 matchup, and we are going to have Pinky back on the mic along with Toma here. So thank you both so much. Where can we find you both? And Nito, we'll start with you.
I am on Twitter/Blue Sky and Twitch, and also I guess YouTube as Nito and News. And if you can find, and you may also find me fixing the lighting around here. And Keon, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me. I'll make this quick. You can find me on Twitter and on Blue Sky, Keon2570. You can find me on Twitch and as well, Keon2570. Smash the follow buttons if you want to follow me on any of those areas. That's all for me.
All right, thank you both. Thank you, Nito. Thank you, Keon. Again, one more set coming up very shortly. We'll try and hop into this one as quickly as I can. White Siege versus our Apologies. Div 8 top 16. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Ludi tonight on Splatoon Tourney. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ludi Tonight. We are getting ready for the final set of the night. My name is Falco. Once again, we have Keon and Toma here for our lovely Division 6 set. I was calling a blank for a second. It's going to be a really good one. White Siege versus Our Apologies, and Our Apologies, an Australian team, or Oceanic team. I don't want to say all Australian, but one of our... I always love when we have international teams who are kind of all from the same area who can participate in Ludi, because I know that's so hard. A lot of the things here are catered toward North American and European players, but it is going to be a wonderful set between these two teams. So let's go ahead and take a look at the... Not Keon. We're going to take a look at the roster, not Toma. I have a foot pedal that does some of the scene transitions, and I press the wrong one every time. So, yes, White Siege and Our Apologies. And I think Our Apologies, they actually did win an Oceanic tournament that happened overnight for us last night. So coming fresh off of that, less than 24 hours, has been really, really incredible. But yeah, this is going to be great. It's going to be a wonderful matchup.
I'm super excited here, Toma. I'm not sure about you, so I'm actually curious to see how the Oceania or Australian represented team here is gonna perform in this Division 6 matchup.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it too. And of course, White Siege, the team that I'm pretty familiar with around the low-level scene here. I say low-level, I think about when they were back making their FTIU runs or LSL, whatever. They're Division 6 now. They're moving on to that. They're in low ink. They're being competitive, trying to break into that middle-level scene, and playoffs, Division 6, that's definitely a good place to be right here. So I'm excited to see how they'll both be doing. Starting on Mako Mart Tower Control, a pretty classic stage. Maybe interested to see. I'm not too familiar with what weapons these teams play, but generally you love to see sloshers, latanas, rollers, anything on here that can really make use of these ledges, play around these stacks. It lends itself to a lot of fun non-shooter options.
I'm actually, and as you mentioned, I'm not too familiar as well with what weapons both teams want to play. But you are right, though. I think I wouldn't be surprised. I would love to see, honestly, a lot of splatanas, rollers, and other non-shooter type weapons here as well. And with both teams kind of loading into this Mako Mart Tower Control map, this is what I'm going to probably be honing in on, is what comps they want to dish out. We've seen Trizukas pretty much across the board, same with coolers and everything else. So that's going to be one of the key things I like to note here. Our Apology is going to be on the right-hand side, left-hand side, or this yellow-colored crew is going to be White Siege, and pretty much some of the weapons aren't too much of a surprise. But I do see a junior at the very least from Our Apologies.
Yeah, not as conventional of a pick, but it can work really well. It has that nice bubble to be able to get through those crucial points of the tower ride for just a little bit longer, but really not much of a surprise you see at both sides. The machine going down early as well as the dualies on both sides. They're both kind of just trading out here in mid, trying to look for an early advantage here. Cooler is out on the side of White Siege to give them a little bit of momentum going up here, but it looks like they're struggling to find some picks at the moment. The splash finally going down as the bubble gets popped on the checkpoint to no avail for Our Apologies to be able to use. But now you have this Zuka, you have all this pressure coming out from White Siege trying to force them back, but ultimately you're still just kind of stuck here in this neutral game until you have the 2 down situation. But White Siege needs to move a little bit faster here to start capitalizing off of this.
Absolutely correct. They took 2 down, but I think they might have taken a little longer than needed to get this tower rolling as much as they do. And White Siege, they basically lose everybody in the process. As you mentioned, I like what Our Apologies tried to do, trying to get the bubble into the tower at the very least, trying to get a push of their own if they were able to take advantage of it whatsoever. But it didn't look like it didn't really materialize in anything. The poor bubbler just went down in a few moments. Excuse me. So here's Our Apologies. They got 2 specials. They got the bubble. They got Blue Bomb if they can use it to any avail. But it looks like they're gonna hold on to it just for now. I think they're just waiting for the opportunity to strike. Duel is, by the way, down on White Siege, and now that's 2. This push should be stalled here momentarily.
White Siege there, the pencil trying to ride out that tower as long as they can. End up getting a pick, but then just goes down to all that excess pressure. And, kind of the tough reality of that weapon, as now our Apologies set here to be making a push. They have this bubble out for that nice checkpoint. It is going to break down though before you can clear. Of course, you got that reduced timer on it if you're popping it on the tower. It's really good for those high pressure areas, but it won't last you long. But they don't need it, anymore right now, as they're going to be cruising this tower right here on this right side, trying to get through just this corner, but looks like they're going to be kind of stopped here in their tracks as White Siege is just really advancing in on them. Para finding a nice pick there on to White Siege just to try to hold as much space here as possible for our Apologies. They don't want to get forced too far back, get stuck up in their base, because that's how you're going to give up checkpoint 1.
Absolutely, and one of the things about that defensive stop there from White Siege, one of the things I need to focus on is the fact that our Apologies didn't actually use any of the specials they had. They had a Booyah Bomb and the Inkjet that was available if they wanted to make that push continue on, but they opted to hold on to it for as long as they did. White Siege was able to put the stop to that push, and that's really all it was, is just 59 points made as 2 members just went down around them. The poor White Siege members. This poor Crab has lost all of its friends around them, and then it's just completely rolled out of there. So our Apologies will be able to get a few more. They now got 2 specials. The Sloshing Machine is in position to find picks around this ledge area there, as the bubbler has been popped. All things considered, they should be able to advance up here shortly. Again, the bubbler is just down right away. Now we do see this Booyah Bomb being used out here, trying to get White Siege out of there on defense. But it looks like I think our Apologies will probably play this one a little safe here until now. They got 2 down. They might be able to take advantage.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing you need to be careful of. I was talking about weapons that thrive here on Mako Mart. Machine is definitely a great example of it. You're able to see that they were able to position just kind of underneath that freezer area and just poke at White Siege and not let them through. And now with the continued pressure of it, they got through that area. You can now just ride a crab on the tower as they're aggressing here at checkpoint 3. You've got this Junior under there ready to throw bombs, ready to hop back on the tower when the Tower Rider goes down, and that is going to be enough to get them all the way to the knockout Kion. This is huge opening there from our Apologies. We just saw the way that time and time again they would go for with such aggression. They would really use their positioning super well, and I think the key part, they really knew when to retreat, back up just a little bit, but hold space and wait for their team to come back in, as opposed to just wiping and letting the map flip completely.
All very good points there, Toma, because most of what I saw from our Apologies there throughout that final push that we're about to see on replay is even if they had specials that were pretty much being held onto or lost whenever members were going down fast, they were finding times to use it when the opportunity is right. They're going for a little bit more control around this tower, trying to make sure that, hey, if we can take out 1 or 2, that should be no problem. You got the space built up for this push, this game-winning push here. And the Junior of all members was just up there trying to get there. Mishka was able to get a few shots in, trying to make sure that White Siege has no chance to contest. And yeah, the Booyah Bomb was just there to help seal any of it. So hey, all things considered, that's a really good start for our Apologies, and I really like the way they played that one in flow and more in control.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you there. I think that their map control was just absolutely vital. Like I kind of mentioned, a big part I think you'll find in these kind of Division 6, Division 5 matches of these higher part of the low-level scene is the difference that these teams have in coordination, as far as knowing when to push, when to fall back, when they need to hold space. That's going to really be the key difference in a lot of these matches in who wins and who loses. Because everybody can go in at this kind of division and mechanic people at times. You can go in, you can win fights. You're all kind of around that same skill level. But knowing whether or not you should really be taking that engagement, that is really what takes you up to the next step.
And sometimes you have to kind of reel in on some of your mechanical differences, or just playing too aggressive. It's basically just trying to play aggressive, but the right kind of aggression, where you don't try to play for just for the sake of doing so. You got to do it with the idea that you know exactly what you need to do in those scenarios there. So I like what our Apologies did for this one. So White Siege now has to kind of adapt to this Undertow Rainmaker map, knowing that, hey, we lost the first one on that KO, but we still have a lot more maps to work with here. So gonna be really intrigued to see what kind of adjustments they really want to do coming in this one. That's like Tetris. All right, I wasn't expecting that of all choices there, but basically our Apologies are kind of sticking to the same composition that they have.
Yeah, as they're kind of just scouting things out, White Siege taking the opportunity to make a few changes there, maybe getting some ideas in the back burner. You know, one thing my beloved partner staff always says all the time when we're commentating is that these first few matches, they're really just recon. They're gathering intel, and we can see that White Siege said, hey, okay, we saw how they played that first time. Maybe, you know, looking at these Tetras, maybe they need to push a little further in. We need to displace them a little more. You've got that Zip Caster to kind of disturb their back line and disrupt some kind of the processes going on our apologies. And you can see that right now it's working pretty well for them as they're able to get over here on this second checkpoint, or this first checkpoint, and just be able to break it immediately. Unfortunately, they are going to go 3 down here, but a checkpoint pop 45 seconds into the match, that's really big for White Siege.
White Siege will be very happy to just take the first checkpoint, even if it's just first and nothing else. You're able to break this one through, and this could set you up for later pushes there. And I really like that they were focusing on both sides of the map. Nevertheless, you get one member kind of focusing on right, and that pretty much just tells you maybe we can now move to the other side, get that first checkpoint, just take it methodically. And going back to your earlier point there, Toma, as we do see the Rainmaker being picked up and dropped pretty much right away. I think you're right. You're pretty much right. Like the first map of this set, I think kind of was telling both teams, all right, we now know how the other team kind of plays now. Hey, we lost it on the KO, but we got a lot of maps work. But again, it's a best 9. There's a lot of time to make some adjustments. So White Siege quickly understanding again that first checkpoint was pretty much key in their favor there. Unfortunately, dropping the Rainmaker right away. So our apologies is still holding firm.
They sure are. In White Siege, though, you can see that they're not really going anywhere very soon. They aren't gonna rush into that Rainmaker pop. They know that could be a recipe for disaster, but they are hanging around here. 2 are down on their side, though. They're gonna have to give up a little bit more space, but you can see Melodic there getting a great pick to try to keep as forward pressure from White Siege as they can right now. They don't want to give up this space, especially if they can get, you know, maybe these Tetras in on the off angle, if they can get a distraction to just let them kind of run rampant. We saw it happen earlier on that BP, but unfortunately, no. 2 down on White Siege. We can start to see this mid starting to flip in the side of our apologies, as they've got this crab tank out here now. They really just need to look up at that ballpoint, which it looks like their own ballpoint is looking to maybe just get this pop first before turning their attention to the right side, where they do get one, and they're looking for that other ballpoint as well. Not quite able to find it yet. You can see just a lot of pressure, but they're saying, hey, you know what? Okay, you want to stay up there? We're going to try to take it left. We'll just go away from you. We'll get out of your range. But Melodic there, ready and waiting for them, but goes down in the Zuka. They're going to be able to find that checkpoint break here, and now they just need to be able to pop it and move it a little bit further. White Siege going to do everything they can here to stop it, but the bubble going to make that difficult here, providing them a great entry there. They're going to be pushing all the way up here, Kion, and that is going to be a knockout in an incredible push there from our apologies.
Well. Suddenly the entire map kind of flipped to kind of turned into a 180 there, Toma, because our apologies, once they got pretty much the crab set up around mid, and now they got the painting down. White Siege basically now needed to find a way to basically get that push stopped as soon as they could. And again, there were multiple opportunities to really stop this Rainmaker push from getting out of control. But you know but again, the Trizuka that I noticed there, one of the members that is Miles, was trying to find this pick, and just the unfortunate Trizuka shot just missed that one shot that was there, and then Ami was basically able to get this checkpoint here. Then Toma, everything kind of just went out of control here for White Siege. Everything just crumbled so fast, to say the least. They got the big bubble there is just a little bit of protection. And yeah, that bomb! How did that bomb get 2 up there? That was an incredible throw. And yeah, it was just a walk through to that checkpoint and just get one more for style.
Yeah, that bomb was absolutely crucial there to being able to secure the KO. Without that, the pressure from that top right would have definitely been too much. So just a absolutely great play. They pop that bubble, saying, hey, pick it up. It's safe. We're in here. We have a little bit of time to deal with stuff. And it's like, oh, wait, we don't even need time anymore because I just got a double with this bomb. Just beautifully played.
I mean, that bomb was just thrown in such a perfect place, and I think they only expected to just get one, honestly. But then they just found the second one there. I think just kind of moving a little further up, trying to poke themselves out, try to see if they can find anybody else. But just an untimely position there where that bomb throw was, and our apologies winning that one handily, and now White Siege. You learn from the first two maps there that the defense crumbled at the worst moment there. Our apologies already got 2 KOs, and we go to the Scorch Clan Blitz map where everything can get very can be stuck in this neutral state for a while, because again that middle area is just a mosh pit. So this could give time for White Siege to try to find ways to adapt. But I think our apologies, if you've won the first two, I wouldn't be surprised if they just want to keep the same thing, because it's working really well for them so far.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do here. I do mention I really liked those dualies on the side of White Siege. I think that, the times that we did see them aggressing, they were able to push up, really pressure that backline out of position. And I think disrupting that kind of normal flow of gameplay could be crucial here. It looks like they're actually going to be opting to go with the normal dualies, can still do, a pretty similar job, maybe not quite as aggressively as the Tetra dualies, but it is worth noting, you don't have to be as far up if you've got a crab tank or if you've got those tri-strikes coming out from the ZNF charger. I think that kind of forcing our apologies to move around and controlling the way that they're able to defend is going to be really critical to being able to get a real push started here, especially for the side of White Siege, who's been struggling a little bit against our apologies comp.
Yeah, they're just trying to find answers for our apologies push here, but again, back to this earlier play here. Before I touch upon it further, this first push is already happening there. They got the bubble to absolutely protect this push as much as they can. Obviously, going to be able to get a few more clamps in. And this first push happened so fast, really, there, as members of White Siege had to just kind of retreat when they and they couldn't really defend this push as much as they could. And yeah, there is 2 down from our apologies. They're not going to try to stretch for more points as much as they can, but hey, that's a good start for our apologies, but White Siege, they still need to find answers for this composition that our apologies have. It's basically the same setup as before. I do like the change to the spot duels. You got a crab tank that is available, but can they take advantage? That's what I'm going to be curious to see from White Siege.
Yeah, they definitely need to here, especially they need to start winning these mid-fights. Getting control here around this big structure in the middle and being able to place yourself on top of it, especially that ZNF, is going to be really critical for them. Unfortunately, that Zuka going down to, I'm not even sure what that was there. I don't know if it was a bomb or a bullet, I don't know, but they kind of got eviscerated there. So, but look at this, strikes coming in underneath the basket. 1 power clam is going to find its way into that basket. A 2nd power clam going to find its way into the basket. They just need a few more to be able to take the lead. The dualies trying to push their way in, but you've got to keep your eye on Melodic. Going to be trying to come in here, finds the lead for White Siege, just narrowly, of course, and there's still 3 minutes left in this game, but that is a great sign for White Siege.
White Siege, even though that's not really a strong lead, White Siege will be very happy with that one, with the way this game has been going. And they already got 3 down here. Toma, can they get anybody else? They're throwing all the clamps up there to get this push started. Now they got to break through these penalty points here. The splash did go down from just earlier, and they should be able to get out of this one momentarily there. Yes, there will be a few checks there. And can this Stampa find anybody else with the zip caster there? No, not quite. Not able to get not able to cling onto the walls there. So that push also happened very fast, and White Siege was able to get it down to 37 points. Now a lot more manageable compared to before, and it's just that 19-point deficit, yes, of course, not factoring in the penalty points. So our apologies. This is kind of the first time we're kind of seeing them play a little bit from behind with this much duration left.
Yeah, but if you're White Siege, that lead can still flip in an instant, so you've got to be really careful, especially here with these mid-fights. Now that you've gotten our apologies able to take control of that upper mid area, they're going to be pushing in here fast. They've got the bubble. They're going to be throwing clams to be able to make a power right here. They've got another one in the way. They just are 1 point away from being able to regain this lead, and Para is going to be able to throw it in there from the right-hand side. Crisis is going to keep it open just a little bit longer and slipping into the base of White Siege just to cause a few more issues. Para are going to be throwing 1 more power clam up to their friends back there, saying, hey, I'm going to continue here to hold pressure in mid, just pick that. Let's keep this going. And that's exactly what they need to do right now. They need to hold on to this mid pressure. And I think the team that you see in the next minute and a half that is going to be able to control with that mid, that's going to be the team that's going to come out on top.
Absolutely, and both teams have been going blow for blow there. Crisis gets a huge double, by the way, because you almost saw there 1 second later we could be talking about a big push from White Siege, and this Slosh Machine is just providing a lot of value in the most crucial moments there. With 2 down, and they got that power clamp that they just spawned, throwing it back to their friends, as you mentioned earlier. They could try to set up for to expand this lead even further, but no, they lose 2 right away, and they got 1 more. Cordero did go down, and now we get this bubble here from Ami to help protect this push. They only got themselves out of the penalty points, and now this is just starting to become a lot more points on top of it. Crisis is able to bring this down to 14 points remaining, and now there's 2 down. All things necessary. Para is going to just have to retreat back, and now with 35 seconds left here at Toma, White Siege knows how many points they got to deal with, but I need to see if they can get a sustained push coming up.
Yeah, they have those specials online. You saw the Zipcast is coming out on their side as well. But they really need to find these picks right now. The splash goes down. Another one goes down.
Nice.
Here is their opportunity to be able to make a push. They're going to throw in that clam. They need to get this space in front of basket cleared. Melodic going to be going in there with the extra clam. They need just 1 more. There goes the lead for White Siege. If they can just hold this open a little bit longer or protect the basket when it drops, that's going to be what's important here. It looks like they aren't going to be able to add any more clams, so they've got to be careful here, Keon. It's going to just take 1 basket break plus 2 small clams on the side of our apologies to be able to take this lead back, which can go so fast. And you can already see they're pushing up here really fast. They've got this Inkjet online. They're going to be going for the dunk right here. They're able to find it in the basket. They are in that bubble. They're going to be throwing 1, 2. There goes the lead for our apologies. And it is just that, that close. You've got to keep an eye on those members. If you can pick them off before that basket breaks, they lose access to a lot of clams, but unfortunately that bubble there just protecting them for long enough that White Siege wasn't able to find the pick.
And what I love from this game was the fact that we got to see the back and forth. White Siege with a lot more life, but it really came down to that last push there. There was barely any time, and what I saw right away there, I think we're about to see the exact replay. Yeah, 2 members, by the way, going down. White Siege there. What I could see happening there was that White Siege probably wanted to find ways to keep that basket open as much as they can to help secure the victory there, but they went down at an inopportune time. I don't think it ultimately mattered too much, as our apologies were able to basically paint their way up. They got the crab tank to help build up the space and the paint needed, and plus he was able to get that power climb. And I think it was just the bubble that was just there. Ami was just able to get 2 more in just like that. So I think really White Siege just trying to rush right in at the end may have not helped out too much, because I think they may have given our apologies some time to set themselves up for that ladder push. But it's looking decent for White Siege, but it unfortunately just a horrendous way to lose that one too.
Yeah, just Ami being the absolutely MVP there. And I mean, Ami with those bubbles time and time again that game, just in the right spots, popped at the right time to really be able to sustain those pushes. I think that they're a player that you need to look out for. They were on cake before. They had previously won LSL. So, this is, a team that it's not that they just got Div 6 because they, play enough tournaments and the Ludi Seeding Council remembers them. Like, no, they proved themselves that, they are better than the Division 7 teams out there, the low level cutoffs, and they're fighting here to show that they want to go to Div 5. They want to go higher. You can really feel the hunger in this team.
And hey, our apologies is really showing why they may have a case for it in future Ludis down the road. Honestly, told because this has been very, very solid gameplay that we have seen from our apologies the entire way through. And as you mentioned, with Ami winning LSL, they want to keep improving. You don't want to necessarily settle for just where you're at in Div 6. You want to aim higher. You want to aim to that Div 5, possibly Div 4 range here. So ship shape zones is going to be very telling to see if our apologies can keep this one up. And White Siege, they found a lot of decent answers there in that 3rd map, and they realized, hey, that 3rd map worked out a lot better for us actually. Let's see if we can keep the same composition nevertheless for this one. And this is actually probably a good map to do so with this crab tank that could get a lot of range here in ship shape zones.
Yeah, they're going to be going in here right now. This fight happening on the side. White Siege got these dualies in, but unfortunately not able to find a pick off them before going down to that bomb. 2 down in the zone. Our Apologies able to take the early lead here. Now looking at the Stamper on the right-hand side, able to pick it as well. Crisis putting in a lot of work. They have that Booyah Bomb on line too. And you see Plessy there is ready to mop up. There's just full control of the map right now from our Apologies as they're holding this really strong lockout position at the moment. They have this Crab Tank online as well, ready to go. Even though they're losing members, the Crab Tank is going to be popped as the last one does go down. That is going to give White Siege free reign of this. The Tri-Strikes come out with everybody down, so they're not going to be able to use that for their hold. The Zipcaster ending, sending them back. They've got this Crab Tank out pretty early here on this left side as well. They're just trying to keep everything that they've got at their disposal to try to stop our Apologies from being able to get back out here on the side. They're going to dive down, try to whistle that Crab Tank to go down, and right now it looks like, again, just Tommy here in that zone, able to roll 2 bombs, pop a bubbler, roll 2 more bombs. They're just coming in at the clutch moments for our Apologies.
Absolutely. Those bombs are coming out huge for our Apologies to just be able to keep this one going. Yes, even though they were able to lose the zone's control for just a few moments, that was really nice. And I feel I go back to that earlier push there that White Siege has. They unfortunately lose 3, and this will be our Apologies getting the zones back. Is that trip strike that just got used earlier? I feel like that was more just to secure the zone when everybody was already there. They probably could have loved to use those trip strikes in that particular moment where they can get a lot more points out of it. But it is what it is in the past, and now White Siege is only got 55 points remain there, and our Apologies is now out of those penalty points. So you got that Crab Tank that's being used. Shut down. That's a nice find. That was beautiful. Hello there, Cookie. As now they throw out this wall out here, trying to protect themselves from Plessy, who's just trying to fire, but the Ancient may have poked themselves out a little too much there. The wall went down. One of those two happened. Either way, though, White Siege, they do have the zone problem for just a tiny bit there, but Para and Plessy is going to be around this zone, and they'll get control back.
Yeah, they're doing a great job at holding there. You saw them a lot of trying to go around to pick off that machine to help their team and kind of pincer in, but it just wasn't enough. White Siege now is trying to break back into this. They've got that Zipcaster just to try to disrupt all the, attention that is going on the top areas of this map. But they are being displaced too by that Booyah Bomb. But now they've got the Tri-Strikes in. They're going to be able to clear this zone, but they need to eat through this penalty. And our Apologies have been so fast coming back into these zones. They have a Crab Tank online. They need to just stay alive and keep their members up. They are going to finally pop that Crab Tank. They are through their penalty, but they've got to watch out for the 3 specials online from our Apologies. As this Crab Tank goes down, you see the trade coming out. The zone is neutralized right now as the Bubble and the Jet are fighting here. Melodic going down as well. Our Apologies, again, just waiting. They've been, this whole game, kind of no sweat when White Siege takes these zones. They're like, hey, we've got time. We don't need to rush into this. Let's just build up our specials. Let's pop them together. Let's take these fights together. Now White Siege trying to do the same thing off of these strikes, Keon.
Yeah, they're able to get the zones back very nicely, and you alluded to it earlier there. And we pretty much alluded to it from the first map. They just have really good control of just this entire map. Even if you lose zones for a quick moment, they get themselves reset in time as Ami is able to get one on the side. Actually, with the nifty move, still alive, unbelievably, as Bubble's there, and now the Stamper needs to fight back. And now there are 20 points remaining. White Siege needs to find a way to contest for this zone, but right now it looks like the respawns are not really favoring them too much. And now our Apologies are just trying to pressure them back, and this will be the KO here. Our Apologies are at match point and possibly a sweep incoming for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it is never over till it's over. We've seen that White Siege is, able to, these tier compete. They've been taking these games, really far in. They've been taking a lot of points in the games, but just unfortunately not able to stop those knockout situations as they've been high-scoring games on both sides, really. So I'm interested to see this. This is definitely still a possibility for White Siege to come back. Right here, you kind of see what we were talking about with Ami over there, just throwing these bombs, waiting so patiently, and taking these fights together with Plessy popping that bubble, and you saw that Crisis came in from the other side as well. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that our Apologies really knows how to take these team fights together. They're playing it super patiently, they're using their specials together, and at the right times. Like here, you know, you didn't wait to and pop that inkjet prematurely. It's like, hey, they're going to be rushing this zone. I'm going to wait for, you know, them to be coming up here. They've got to make pressure on it, and when they do, I'm just going to pop it, and they're going to be right there for me to shoot.
Yeah, and I gotta give credit to Amy there as well, just being able to take out 2 at that crucial moment in time there. But hey, we've mentioned before with our Apologies just being able to take some of those fights really well and the right usage of those specials. I think our Apologies have been able to get their way through. But I talk about White Siege here at this point. Games 3 and 4 have definitely seen, we've definitely seen White Siege definitely improving, able to find ways around some of those fights. But there were definitely times where they could have loved to have one of those specials available in a much later point. Some of the special usage we could see if we see them clean that one up and then maybe use it in times where they absolutely need to. I feel like White Siege will be able to take this one map at a time, but that's really their focus right now. Is they really need to focus on, you know, trying to win out some of these fights, try to figure out how they can solve this Our Apologies comp that has been the same for the past 4 maps.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it, and this is going to be an interesting map to have to make that correction on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest here. Crowdplay TC doesn't have the highest community approval rating as far as maps go. This is definitely one of the ones that's gained a little bit more criticism from the Ludi players coming in here. And it can be a really rough match because once, you know, you get past that second checkpoint, if they're able to hop across, if they're able to take that grades, they split up 2 and 2. It can be really hard to stop those pushes. They can really snowball and get out of control. Right now, we're going to watch how these teams open, though, as the dualies on the side of White Siege are going to open on this left-hand side, get a great pick on the ball point, and looking to find another one. They're able to get 2 here. A great situation for White Siege. They're going to come in. They get the full wipe out. White Siege now in control of this tower, but notice it is just Cookie there alone by that tower checkpoint. They need to get over there to protect it. The Stamper making a great play and going to that side. Zipkins into that side to try to protect them. And you got that one person going in through their plat. They're able to keep this going. Just the machine is up on the side of Our Apologies. This is now the kind of coordination we need to see from a White Siege that's going to be determined to reverse sweep.
Absolutely, if they're able to keep this one up there, they should and get themselves set around this past this second checkpoint and make sure that Our Apologies doesn't have a chance to contest. That's going to be really nice. And back to the light Tetris, which already found instant value, by the way, finding out 3 members to just help kickstart this push. And now they get to pass the second checkpoint. This is where this push all the way at the end can get very treacherous. There, Our Apologies was able to stop that one very nicely there with a key find onto the Stamper there. Amy and the rest of Our Apologies are just throwing anything that they can to make sure that this third checkpoint doesn't get contested. White Siege just cannot contest this one any further there, and it's just 17 points remaining. But as you mentioned before, this can snowball out of control if Our Apologies makes it to that second checkpoint, and they do the setup themselves. So White Siege needs to be able to hold on to this tower as long as they can, as we do see Cordero able to get a few picks there nicely, and Our Apologies are already 2 down. They're going to try to resume this push.
Yeah, you can see that they're really doing a great job here. And I think that right now they're just kind of trying to find the specials and juggle who's going to be on that tower. You can see Cordero is kind of like, I'm not quite ready to do that there. And Amy, you know, are taking a great pick there with that bomb, just saying, hey, if you're going to back up, I'm just going to throw a bomb right behind you, able to punish it. But of course, Amy getting caught out in that snipe as well. Another snipe is coming out there. Cookie finding a... Oh my gosh, Keon. Absolutely huge plays for Cookie, and now that's allowed. Look where Milotic is over here on this top right corner. You've got all the members of White Siege pushed up here. You've got 2 down on the side of Our Apologies. Those snipes are key. They just need to get back on the tower and win that fight with Para, and they're going to be able to do it. That is huge for White Siege.
White Siege needed to win that map to extend the set even further, and that first I'm gonna just recap this one here. The Dark Tetris from Cordero just kickstarted the first push around the second checkpoint, and then just a little bit of a struggle to make it to that third, and then just wipeouts after wipeouts that we saw from that Crab Lake Tower control map, and now White Siege looking like the team that has definitely been improving from the previous three. As we take a look at this replay here, there's Amy there, at least able to get one out of Cordero to at least stall this push a little bit further. But I think Cookie may have found, I think, 3 members alone on when they were trying to resume this push, all things considered, which just opened things up for White Siege. There was one from Cookie there. No, it didn't look like it was the second directly. This was the second one that landed. That might have been the assist. And here's the third, I think, that went on to this slusher machine, which there it is. There's that wipeout. So that allowed White Siege to just be able to set up and then get that killed, as we saw there, Toma.
Yeah, and I kind of briefly mentioned this back in the Rainmaker Undertow game that I really liked the pick of the Tetradoles from White Siege, because I thought that it gave them the kind of aggression that they needed to be able to move and disrupt our apologies. And I think this is exactly where you saw that in motion. They were able to push so far up, and then you know what? If they had to back up, but they had Zipcaster, then they're not really gonna back up, because then they're gonna just Zipcast straight in your face. And that opens up possibilities of movement. You can force them into your teammates. You can force them into having to take a fight with Melodic. You can force them into coming into Cookie's sight of view or line of view. There's just a lot of possibilities there. I'm really happy to see that White Siege is going to be sticking with those light Tetras going into this game.
And Cookie's back on that Zeko Firefin charger as well, which has found so much value, really. Just finding key members out of our apologies there. Our apologies are going to be sticking to the same thing. They realized that hey, we don't need to really change too much if we can keep up with our game here in Museum. This Museum Rainmaker map. I like to see how our apologies tweaks to things a little bit there. As that's a nice find onto the shot to Plussy there, but that's really all it's going to be. And you mentioned it before, just keeping those light Tetras as you there, I think is a really solid choice, that it gives you that skirmishing opportunity, just being able to force members into your team. As 3, however, went down to res. I praise the light Tetras of all things, and this will be the first checkpoint. No, it will not be just yet. And now it looks like our apologies are trying to force White Siege to not be able to contest, and it will just be the checkpoint. But I think that's all it's going to be right now, as White Siege, they lose that first checkpoint, but they take out 3 in the process for this push.
Yeah, you can see how fast this painted mid has changed into White Siege's favor. They've got 2 Zipcasts now coming into the base of our apologies, going to be trying to clear the path out here. But unfortunately, that Rainmaker unprotected, going to go down to that splash. Going to be giving our apologies a chance to be able to get back here in the mid, be placing some paint down. You see that Cordero comes in there on those dualies, but unfortunately spotted out by 2 members of our apologies. They worked to pick them off together there. And now you've got Crisis in this kind of dangerous situation around those ledges. Cordero tries to go in for that Rainmaker pick with those dualie rolls, but just a little bit too slow to be able to pick it up behind them. And now just these skirmishy fights are happening. You see, like, I just say, Amy there it's a little bit funny. I see that bubble popped there, and I'm like, this Junior is playing like a skirmisher over here in White Siege's base, and it's working for them, honestly. I mean, it creates a distraction, it pulls their attention away from that Rainmaker, it delays them from coming out, and it allows our apology to just really put down a lot of pain in mid.
And Amy's really just treating that entire Junior as, hey, I can just skirmish as much as I can with the bubble. I can set up these bubbles for more offensive pushes as much as possible there. So Amy is using that Junior with a lot of purpose of being as offensive as possible there, as it looks like this is going to be a two down for our apologies there. But Crisis picks up this Rainmaker. White Siege was just not there for it, and somehow Crisis is able to take this one all near the ramp, which is actually very incredible there, as White Siege was not able to capitalize on this checkpoint. They have to kickstart this push again. But back to the earlier point there, with Amy just using that Junior as more of a skirmishy weapon, and just finding some of those angles or some of those flanks, all things considered, has just been valuable for our apologies. And now we get to see this fight break out here. It's going to be 3 down again for White Siege. Our apologies are trying to get this push hopefully started there, as the bubbler just got used.
Yeah, and that bubble is going to provide them the chance to be able to extend that lead safely quite a bit, down to 37. Of course, not a safe lead on this map because it's not even past that pillow. There's still a lot of room for White Siege to be able to make that comeback, but to do that, they need to find this checkpoint break. And right now, you kind of just got Cookie out here alone with the Rainmaker, forced back there into the Rainmaker free zone, is going to be taken down by one member of our apologies there, and now kind of stuck in that awkward corner where they have to go in to pick it up. And White Siege does have this control over here at the moment, but it's going to be easy for our apologies to just kind of throw everything they've got in this general direction. But the Rainmaker finds one, going to be moving there on the checkpoint, but the Crab unfortunately just catches them out. Para trying to find another one too, but goes down to Cordero, who's going to be trying to keep White Siege's hopes alive here on this side of the map, using the Zipcaster, just trying to create some distraction play, but going down in the Zip as well. Now our apologies is set up here in a good spot. They've got that bubble protecting their right or left-hand side, and they're going to just kind of hold space in mid, not let White Siege in, and that's the game they can play at this moment, Keon. They have the lead. There's not too much of a reason for them to do anything unnecessarily risky. And just right as I say that, though, Cordero gonna find the checkpoint break. This could be the opportunity for White Siege.
Yeah, White Siege found a really golden opportunity. They're realizing that Rainmaker got popped, and now able to take this one to 44 punch rate, and now our apologies are having to play catch up here effectively. And look at White Siege, they got a lot of control. Look at the Zipcaster find a few more, and now it's just flying Zipcasters all over the base for our apologies. Not only that delayed wipeout was there, and now it's an official delayed wipe on top of it. White Siege might be able to go for more than just that, or no, they're just gonna pull that one back. That's just really smart. They realize that, hey, we won this one, no problem. We don't need to go for the KO, for the unnecessary KO. And man, Toma, just the difference of White Siege with map after map after map has really been showing so far. And look at that, they're still keeping this set alive, and of course they're losing playoff dreams.
Yeah, and Keon, this is why I say time after time after time, never count a team out just because they haven't gotten a point yet and it's match point. Reverse sweeps happen in tournaments all the time, and White Siege right now, there's still of course 3 games to go, but they're showing that they have the potential to make it happen. They've just got to keep this same kind of pressure up. Here you see right at the same time, coordinated, these Zipcasters go in together along with the Zuka. They're popping all their specials together, they're taking these fights together. The wall provides a little bit of a safe area for Cookie to advance, and they're like, hey, we have got this lead, no sweat now, as they push up. You see that they keep this pressure, as I believe it's Milotic here picks up that Rainmaker, and they're like, hey, just keep them tied up, keep them distracted in base. I'm gonna run away. They're not gonna be able to catch me in time.
I feel like this is just one of those cases where some teams, the big difference between some of the teams here is they probably would be trying to be very greedy for the KO, but that's actually one of those moves where I don't necessarily support it at that point in time, because hey, you could easily lose it in a flash. So I gotta commend White Siege there for being very disciplined, just pulling that Rainmaker back there and just keep distracting the rest of our apologies so that they have no chance to get the Rainmaker back at all for their own attempted push. And as you mentioned, honestly, this is one of those teams where even though they started off slow on a 4-0 map deficit, they were improving with time and time again with each map. That you mentioned before, never count out any teams, even if you're down 4-0. This is one of those teams where I would definitely say not to count them out early, because yeah, they were very slow, but you saw from games 3-4 where they were improving but just weren't able to get it back, and then 5 and 6 they're able to capitalize into successful wins.
Yeah, God, this is, Keon, the way that they've just been learning game after game after game, and it's really shown in these past 2 games. They have had such great pressure, such great team fights, the kind of team fights and coordination that I was talking about coming out from our apologies during the first 4 games. This is what we've seen from White Siege these 2 games, and it is worth it to note, Barnacle and Dime, this is a very huge lockout heavy map, and you know, when I'm thinking about comparisons to previous rounds, I'm kind of thinking about that kind of the kind of crab leg tower situation where
For sure.
they were able to just get ahead of the objective. They were able to just create a lot of pressure and they didn't back up. And that kind of play style here could be huge if they're able to maintain it. They keep the same kind of comp coming out here. They still are using those light tetras from Cordero to be kind of the opener skirmisher that creates these opportunities for them. And I'm interested to see, you know, are they going to be able to just get all their clams to Cookie and to the shot player and it just double zip in and cause mayhem and allow them to score.
So I feel like this is gonna be one of those sets here where I think we're gonna be seeing the exact same weapons the rest of the way, and I don't blame either team in this scenario. And you're right, the double zip caster has just allowed so much aggression there for White Siege. Unfortunately, they lose 3 right as I was about to commend White Siege for just keeping the same, and now they're just delayed wiping on top of it. Of course, had to speak their team and praise them, and then they lose everybody in quick succession. There, Amy's able to get that first power clam in. Maybe a second one coming in up here. Whoa! It's actually wide left. That's just unfortunate there, as I think they just may have yanked that motion a little to the left there, and that unfortunately is a disappeared power clam, and that's just that could be the difference we may end up talking about at the end of this game, depending on how this game progresses. There is that it could have been 60 points for me. It's just the 80. Our apologies are gonna just have to settle with the one and done.
Yeah, and you know, and that just gives a power clam to White Siege to be able to get up here and get pressure with right now. They have 3 members up there trying to get the special out. Unfortunately, Dazuka not finding anyone there, but they're just going to try to take these fights here on this left side as they're pushing in together to try to get that space forward. They already have Amy down, but unfortunately, Cordero, their biggest skirmisher, their biggest tool in, goes down, and you can already see that they're kind of falling back. They've got those 3 power clams online, and they're like, hey, let's not risk it. We need to play safe. We need to get us all back up again. We need to get these specials up again. And right now, that's exactly what they have. They have those tri-strikes. They have the zip casters going in. But unfortunately, go 2 down now, make that 3. All these power clams are going to break over here. It looks like one does go in. I believe that was Cordero there with that rolling dualies there, but just not able to pick up a clam and get it out or do anything to really be able to salvage those clams. And it's hard to do so when you have 4 members of our apologies just sitting there waiting for you to jump in.
I think it's definitely a case where you pick up 3 power clams and go for that big spectacular push, but the enemy team also knows where you are at all times, and the sample was probably popped when they were holding onto it, so they kind of had a clear idea as to where they realized, okay, this is where the zip caster could be used, and they shut that down very well. Our apologies did a really good job holding there, and it just prevented what could have been a very snowbally push with those 3 power clams, equate to basically nothing. And again, heavy credit to them just being able to hold firm and then play this one patiently. But again, as soon as I praise them, okay, there we go. Crisis gets a nice little double there. That was beautiful. And can Crisis get a triple off of that from range there? It doesn't look like they can, so that once again stalls out White Siege's attempt at a push. Milotic here maybe looking to see if they can get anything with Drazuka. Not quite yet, just trading. Really, both teams kind of just skirmishing all across the board, but nobody really has any clams to speak of, so it's just pretty much a lot of fighting.
Yeah, like this is just a lot of back and forth right now. But you have to notice how far forward White Siege is. They're going to be trying to get in here. Are they taking the jump into the base? They are going to. Are they going to be able to find the jump? No! Unfortunately, not able to do so. Not going to be able to find the power clam dunk there. It looks like instead they tried to see if they could pick the person camping the jump, but just went down. And you know, even if they had gotten that pick, there was 2 people there. So even if they had gotten one, there's no guarantee that they would have been able to get the other.
Absolutely, and I think they were trying to go for the sneaky push there, but they lose through. But right now, White Siege are delayed wipe. We got to make note of this push here, as now all the clams are just coming in, and this is where things can just go out of control in a hurry. Just the push that could have happened for White Siege, and our apologies just capitalizes with that 1 power clam and just firing at the Booyah Bomb, actually denying the Booyah Bomb there from Crisis to prevent this push from getting any worse. And now for White Siege, with like 45 seconds left to go, Toma, I need to see if they can take advantage of any of that Zipcaster usage that they tried to do earlier. They almost made it work last time in Rainmaker, but this is such a huge deficit to work with. And hey, the sloshing machine did go down, but they lose the Stamper there on top of it. And now they're back to the skirmishing fight. That's 3 down for our apologies. And now they're wiped out. This should be White Siege's time to see if they can take advantage.
Yeah, they need to get these clams together. There go all of them, throwing them together. Melodic popping
Nice.
that Inkzuka finding one. They've got power clams online, but they're going to need a bit more than that to be able to find the lead. Melodic in there, able to dunk it, going back to look for more. There comes the second power clam, but 2 down. Now you got 1 stuck in zip. Just the shot with the clams going down. This looks like it may be our apologies victory here, taking the set 5-2, and Keon, but this is like maybe a 5-2 set, but wow, it doesn't feel that way.
This is, as I always say it when it comes to sets. You look at the box scores or the scores, and you see, oh, it's just a 5-2 set. One team probably just lost a few there, but this is not one of those 5-2s where you can just look at the score and talk about what happened. No, White Siege was definitely improving map after map after map, and then our apology was able to clamp that one home. I was wondering if that missed power clamp from our apology was going to matter, but no, it didn't really matter. It ultimately didn't matter in the end there, Thomas. We do see this last push that was attempted to be materialized. I think they had enough paint actually there. This could have been an opportunity for them to move forward, possibly get that push start probably about a few seconds earlier, but granted, it probably would have been the last push anyway. So they were able to get both power clams in, and now they just had to find any extra follow that they could have, which is basically like 7 small clams if my math checks out. And yeah, you see the Zipcats are just trying to do anything for their team just to help build that space, but it just wasn't going to happen. They lost everybody around them, and that's how our apologies moves on to the next round here, Toma.
Yeah, absolutely huge win for them tonight. And White Siege, unfortunately, going down, they are going to be ending their Ludi playoffs here, but there's nothing at all to be disappointed about if you were them. This has been a absolutely great run for them and a great showing. I think that tonight, eyes are on them, and this is now everybody's like, hey, if you hadn't heard of White Siege before, now they're definitely a team that's name is on your radar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Falco.
Yeah, certainly Keon and Toma. And I mean, we brought this up. You both brought this up many times during this set, but Amy just being such a good skirmishy junior player. As a junior player myself who tries to fill that skirmishy role, I'm watching her and I'm like, yes, let's go, let's go. That was a lot of fun. And 2, I think like when White Siege was able to really get the ball rolling in games 5 and game 6, we're like, we've got a set. We've got a real good set. And they were, they tried so hard during that last Clams game, and we saw them break open that last basket. But what else are you going to do in that situation? You have 10 seconds left. You get the basket open, but where do you go from there? It's just, unfortunately, when all the cards don't fall in the right way, it's really hard. But yeah, Keon, final thoughts on that set?
I mean, my quick final thought here is you basically saw, as you mentioned, what Toma mentioned earlier, White Siege was definitely improving map after map after map. This was not the same White Siege we saw from games 1 and 2 where they got KO'd right away. You got to see that White Siege made a lot of adaptations. They made the change to Light Tetras and the Zeko Firefin Charger, and it worked out brilliantly for 5 and 6. I feel like their big push with the 3 power clams was just when things started to fall apart, because that was basically where all our apologies like, okay, we kind of have an idea on how they're gonna try to attack, and that's just when the door was shut on them. Our apologies just extended that lead further, pretty much sealed it for our apologies. So White Siege was not the same team you saw from the beginning of this set. They looked a lot better, but it just didn't pull out in the end.
Yeah, and Toma, so it looks like our apology is going to face the winner of Royal Banquet and Lola Go Crunchy. I think I said that correctly. I'm not sure if they've played their sets. I know sometimes the scores can be a little delayed entering in on Start GG, but this Div 6 group, I feel like Div 6 is it's an interesting group because you're low level band, but you're not low level band, so you're like right on that cusp where things could get a little tricky. And as somebody who plays in low level and is one of the head TOs from the Ink Up and sees a lot of the competition that is like just kind of at this level, maybe a little bit below, it's really a lot of things are up in the air.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that is up in the air, like you said yourself, Falco. And, I really think if you're a team that's FTIU eligible, that's LSL eligible, watch these sets, watch them back, go see the VOD, see how these players play, because that's how you're going to be taking your gameplay to the next level. Look at that coordination between your team. You can't focus all on mechanics, so you got to think about what can we do, what can I do as a team to be able to push together, win fights together, and really start thinking about Splatoon in that sort of sense. And that was really evident to me in both of these teams' gameplay tonight, and that's my big advice to these low level players that are struggling.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see how the rest of this div shakes out, but that is going to be it for us tonight on Ludi Tonight, wrapping up this Saturday night. We will be back again tomorrow night, probably around 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're not really sure. Dynamite Central will be your streamer for tomorrow night. So thank you all for watching Ludi Tonight. We are going to go head over to Dapple Productions. They are in the grand finals of Squid Junction. So we always love more lovely Splatoon action. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out and watching Ludi Tonight. We will see you next time.